Three, two, one, and we're live. Alexander Smith coming at you live. Hopefully everybody's about tonight. And we are live. I don't know about the glasses because I don't know where I can actually... Looks fuzzy. Looks a bit fuzzy, that screen. And then I'm gonna... that looks a lot better. So it does. I've got nobody watching. Now we've got one. The title is something that maybe some people will find upsetting, and maybe it'll switch some people off. But when you see something on Facebook and it comes to your attention, what do? Do you just ignore it? Do you just ignore it? Or do you do something about it? Now, what it was is, I'm on Facebook and I'm going through the usual groups, or the groups that I'm enrolled in. And I don't know, David, I don't know if the person is going to come up or not, or isn't going to show up, because the person who's involved in it or what's happened to him should actually be up in panel, because he'd be able to tell the story better than what I can. Because obviously I've seen something on a Facebook group, or a Facebook group which I'm involved in, as in with Jeanette Pickering or whatever, and I've noticed this popped up, and it's his partner who's put it up, as in saying about what's happened to him. So then I've turned around and thought, well, you start wondering, well, is somebody being truthful? Is it a joke? Is it not a joke? So me looking at it and then realising, hold on a minute, this ain't a joke. This ain't somebody playing about. This isn't like something funny. And I'm like, hold on a minute here. And then I'm like, knowing me, no, it's no Hi-Ho Silver. If Hi-Ho Silver's here, then good. Hi-Ho Silver. Because I'm trying to think of how I can help this person, but it's to be able to do something. It's a case of putting an appeal out there, but the appeal should have been done on his channel rather than my channel, because my channel is down in Scotland and his is up in Leeds. So I'm like, hold on a minute, and he's a dear friend of mine's, and he's disabled as well himself. So it sort of pulls at the heartstrings sort of thing, as in, because you're in the same boat, you understand the predicament, and you understand what it's like. So you're like, try to not get upset by it, what obviously you've seen, but you don't know what to do about it. And the only thing I can think of is exactly what Mike Brewer done. And what I'm going to explain is, so I'm going to explain what it was I actually saw. Right, so I'm on Facebook as usual. What I'm usually doing, going through Facebook, scrolling, just checking everything out, make sure everything's alright. And on behold, I'm looking through the usual the feeds, and I'm involved in Jeanette Pickering's group, and I sees this on it. So it says, "Can anyone please help us? Can anyone please help us? We got our car pinched earlier this morning. Only way off him getting about. He disabled, and so Johnny." The reason when I saw what I saw, you know what I'm like. I'm in there I don't like jumping. I don't like jumping in. But when I see something and it's people that I get on with or people that I've attached myself onto, because don't forget, we were all like a group, as in with hazy days. Exactly, Johnny. I know, I understand, but the only thing I can think of is what the idea that I said about, or when I had done the second reply on your channel, is I said, I've got an idea. My idea was to basically for you to do a live on your channel, let people. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping we can put out an appeal so that maybe you can gather information. That was to gather information. That's why I wanted to do it, but I was like, it's the wrong thing to do, in my channel. You're more than welcome, Johnny, to come up, because it's, as I'm saying, it's better you telling the story and then end up we put it out there. Because the more we put this out there, the more possibility, there's more possibility. Exactly, that's what I thought, Johnny. Because that's how I was like, if Johnny does a live stream on his channel, even though that people pop up in the panel, maybe we can come up with where we either think it could be, we can think it could either be, or somebody who's got information and knows exactly where that car is. Should be in a backstreet car park. I was thinking either multi-story. If it didn't have a lot of petrol in it, Johnny, if you want to come up in the panel, you're more than welcome to. I'm not bothering about the wheel. Tonight. This is more important. To me. It's more important because it's one of the missions. I love a challenge. I love something behind a challenge to get my teeth into. I'd rather you come up in panel. I know it's going to hang me. Ian, never mind about an iPod tracker. It's happened, and there's nothing he can do about it. The motor's gone. He thinks it could be hang me as in run about. It's obviously somebody that either knew him or somebody saw something and decided, oh, I'll just take that motor. Not tonight, but don't go on panels now. Lots going on. But that's what I'm saying. It's easier for you to tell a story than what me to tell a story and try to hang me relate it and try to get the facts. Because I've saw it on a thing, I've saw it on a timeline on Jeanette's, then shared it in my timeline, thinking, hold on a minute, I've got plenty of people, but the thing is, if you didn't have the money, one of the coin community is the best people to be about because I got dragged into shit that I wasn't involved in. I've been there. I passed a packet of fags to somebody thinking that my van wasn't going to get touched, and they end up become a hindrance more than anything else. And it was a case of, can you drive me here? Can you take me there? Can you take me there? And eventually I found out that it was transporting illegal substances. And when I found out about it, I was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm getting to fuck. Whether I lose the house or not, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit. I don't tell everything that has been done or I've had or what's happened in my personal life. I try and keep that away because I want to forget about it. Past is past to me. Past is past. I know, but that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to get the story related so people can relate to the story, because obviously there's some people that watch this channel that are from the coin community, and the coin community do a lot of benefit stuff. And if you were short on funds and we put something together, sometimes it'll take a week or 2 weeks and it can be put together. But the thing is, I don't know what you've already done and whatever else other people have done already. I know about the car, as in, because I saw the thing where I saw Tracy put the post. That's actually better because it's fuzzy. That screen, that picture looks fuzzy, but when I put them on, it looks a lot better than what it did. I was thinking last night, Johnny, in my own head, and I was like, multi-storey car park. I was like, somebody's either had that motor. I was like, well, if it's not had a lot of petrol, and say, for instance, they didn't go to a petrol station, because a petrol station, if you go to put petrol on a car, right, you've just stolen it, right? But the post has not been informed, right? They go to a petrol station to put petrol in it. Somebody's going to notice them putting petrol in that car, and that registration plate will go on that CCTV camera at the thing, the petrol station. The only thing is, if they've had it, they've either had it in a, as you said, car park somewhere that nobody's goes into. Multi-storey car, it could be in a multi-storey car park, it could be a multi-storey car park hiding, or it could be at a railway station car park. I left at a railway station car park if they were trying to get away. I know that. Exactly. Not claiming on my insurance. She's worth over $1,000, but she won't. But she's worth a hell of a lot. Exactly. See, this is why it touched me, because I'm thinking he's not got a set of wheels. And I'm thinking, hold on a minute. Wonder if there's a way of reaching out to somebody just to either get a rental or something for it to get you tide you over. To tide you over, this is what I'm thinking. But I'm a bit far away and I'm thinking, I can't put the money out. And then I thought, because a lot of businesses, they see something and they go, we want to help. I just bought an S-Type Jag. They're actually good motors, them. You know, she's been stolen. So this is what I'm thinking, Johnny, because I was like, well, if we put an appeal out there as in a live appeal, maybe somebody will come forward. Maybe somebody will chap your door or pick up a phone. Say, by the way, I've got information, but I'm not going to say who it is, but I'll tell you whereabouts for you to go start hunting. Because you could be hunting about in a needle in a haystack, mate, as in all over the place for that motor. Because it could have been dumped anywhere. Could even be dumped in a forest, in a set of woods. It could be dumped up a farm track even, or in a farm building. Six months MOT. Oh, done 77,000. I know, because you took the motor, because you bought that other motor and then put a seat and then transferred the seats for the other motor into that one. I remember you done what you did, and then you done the exhaust, you done all the thing, and then you sprayed all the underneath it. So you put the work and the time into it. But that's how I was like, well, there's no point in me doing it live because I'm down in Scotland. Nobody's going to go from Scotland to Leeds to go and find a motor, as in millions of miles away. And I was like, well, if we did a live in J5s, I was like, that's how I put a comment. I have an idea, but I'd rather you ring me, I'd rather you get in contact with me, because I was like, well, hold on a minute. That's what I was thinking. I almost spent 2,000 on a car that was worth $1,000 on the books. Exactly, Johnny. It's the fact of you trying to get about. If you're disabled and they take the disabled motor away from you, which was Motability, so you've had to buy your own set of wheels, and now you're without a motor because some cunt stole it. So they come into your house, which they'd no right to come into your house in the first place, took the keys, took the keys, put it in the motor and fucked off in the motor. Exactly. She's been stuck in since Thursday. That's what I'm saying. I only seen the post last night. I seen the post and I was straight on it. I'm up to all hours at night time. I sit with Americans, not that Johnny. I'm telling me, 4 years, mate. I've done this as in up at night time, as in to try and get stuff for the channel and all that carry on. Even through kind of school books or the garden. Bye. I know. I know they're sick fuckers. They don't give a fuck. They don't give two shits. They're all interested in a quick fix. Probably for drugs. That's probably what it's been. But you don't realise how bad it is in the world, as in with scum of the earth like that. Because that's all they're interested in is themselves. They're interested in who they hurt and who they upset. I think because it sort of got emotional when I saw it, and I looked at it and I thought nah, and then I thought, I thought this is real. It's no fucking. It's not a game. It's not a carry on or a sick joke. I thought this is real. And then I was like, I wonder how I can help him. I was like, put the thinking cap on. I was like, and then I was like, sharing your timeline first, timeline share it, and then I was like, what other groups you involved in? Because I've got quite a few groups that I'm involved in, but mainly it's all like unlocking, as in for the unlocking equipment and all that car on. And I was like, well, there's no point putting in a live, putting a timeline on there. I was like, because I don't think it'll reach out to the right people. And I was like, I don't know anybody up his way, and I'm like, And then I was like, wonder how I get his channel. Because I went on to Jeanette's to go into the community thing or the community post, and I'm looking for when we used to as in like the people that you like support, and on the bottom of it they would be like as and it would tell me Johnny 5 Bob, and it wouldn't pull that up, and I was like, how the hell do I find him? And then I was like it's J5, but I was like, how do I find him in the search engine? And then I was like, hold on a minute. And then something just clicked. And I'm like, but then the thing me, that's what I'm saying. The last video you done was on the kitchen, as in 6 days ago. So it's like 6 days ago you done that. And it looked as if everything was hunky dory then. And now you're back to square one. That's what it's like all the time. You think everything's going well and you're 3 steps in front, and all of a sudden you get hit with something and it's like back to square one again. So you got to start all over again, and you're thinking, how long is this going to take me now? I know Jeanette was coming live, I knew that. But I didn't want to wreck Jeanette's live stream because I was like, I don't know, I wasn't sure if you were going on Jeanette's one because it said happy Saturday, and I was like, well, it's not really happy Saturday because Johnny's had that happen to him, and I was like, is she going to end up then alive or then an appeal or whatever for Johnny? And I was like, it's not going to be happy Saturday as in Jeanette's panel, especially if you've had that happen to you. I know you're trying to put a brave face on it, buddy, I know. Think I just be in chat. It's the fact to try to get it out there, Johnny, as in further, because you can spread the word further. What can you do? You know what I mean? You just got to put a brave face on it and thing me and carry on, put a smile on it, and like, and then if anybody asks you like, I'm okay, but you're not really okay as such, because I don't mind somebody having a rant, because at the end of the day, it's better to get it out than keep it in, because you keep it in for so long, it's going to bottle up, and then you may explode at the wrong person, and you're like, I didn't mean to explode at that person. I will do, because I'm running time. We cut it short tonight because I'm like, I wanted to do that to try and reach out to, because usually I don't have a lot of people coming in, and I'm starting to think, is it me? What is it worth? Is it worth me really doing Saturday Live? And I'm like, nobody like shows up anymore, like it used to be. I know it's gutting. Of course it's gutting. Of course it's gutting, mate. Of course it's gutting. So I can see better. It looks. I can see that screen, and it looks fuzzy. But when I put them on, as in with the blue, it sort of got babies here, kids to get to school. Exactly. You get a family that needs to get about as in fi you're actually thing me. Hi ho. Because I'm actually doing me, I'm actually Johnny at the moment I'm actually doing stuff for eBay now. I've like I've like I've like listed about 15 items already. But it's taken me like 3 days. It's taken me like 2 days. Taking me nearly like 2 days, as in on and off. Scraped a grand. Everything I have to get another. I know. Because that's how I was. I don't like asking. I don't like asking the coin community, but the coin community are really the coin community, Johnny, are really good. As in, especially when they hear something that's dear to their heart, or it's a member of the YouTube community, they all sort of club together. They'll come up with an idea. They'll come up with an idea, and then they'll sort of put coins or whatever or donate stuff to the whatever it is, and then they'll do an auction and basically get enough money together. Hi ho! At least it's over at Durban's now. It's sitting at Durban's. It'll no be time. It'll no be ready until a box is full. Anyway, and I didn't want name. I didn't want name thinking I wasn't coming back because I've got other things in the agenda at the moment, buddy. Dang me, I'm trying to get. I've got ideas bouncing in my head. Like I had the idea of dang me the one, but we had changed the whole idea with the game or whatever, and then that didn't seem to work. That's fine, J5. I'll see you in a bit anyway, as in it Project Genetics. Aye. I'm not really worried. If Mum sees progress, Taiho, she won't mind. It's if she doesn't see any progress, then she'll tell me I'll no hear the end of it. I'll be like nip my ears. So I've done like as I'm saying, I've done like 15 listings. I done four listings with coins that I'd made up and little sort of 2x2s as in done name, which I didn't want to do on the thing on eBay, but I'm thinking, well, if for instance I'm doing mobile phones and mobile phones are not selling anymore, or I can't be able to get rid of mobile phones, I might as well do something else that I can make money on. So I decided I want to put the coins on as a trial and error run and see what happens. Because I was like, well, I've never done eBay as in my coins on eBay or whatever. And I thought maybe just a couple of listings and see how it goes, see what happens. As I was telling the truth when I was in the chat. When I say something in the chat, usually it's because something's as in the back of my mind. It's in the back of my mind, something different or something that I'm not too sure about, and I'm thinking maybe it's worth, maybe it's not as, maybe things is not working out the way that it used to work out for me. Maybe it's worth going into something different, something new venture. As in, but I'm not going to gear up the phones yet. I'm just sort of putting them on the back burner. But it'll just need to be that it'll be less phones bought than what, as in, if the coins work. If coins work. But I didn't really want to put coins on the thing, mate, on the eBay. I wanted to keep the coins on the channel and do the coins on the channel and then do the thing with the phones on the thing, my phones back on eBay, because I know my phone stuff. you ask me about phones and I'm like, fucking, I can go and, know what I mean, as in what about this phone or that phone, and then you ask me all the specifications, I can give you a rundown of bits and pieces that I know about them. I just feel the channel's not going anywhere, or I don't feel that I'm getting further with the channel. And I'm like, maybe there's things that I haven't done that I said that I was going to do. Maybe that's why. But then I'm thinking, have I been consistent enough with doing this for people to actually come in and play the game? Or is it because they're coming to play the game because it's not costing them any money? Because I'm not asking for money for sports. And I'm saying it's up to them where they donate to the shipping pot fund. So it's a case of, well, what if they don't put money into that shipping pot fund? It means then it's on my shoulders, and that's why I went back to eBay. That was to subsidise it. That was the whole idea of going back to eBay, was to subsidise it. But then I'm like, I don't know enough about coins to put coins on eBay. I know more about phones. I put the phones on eBay. I'll still do the phones, but I'll do them behind the scenes. Because people are like, because I had Andrew and he's like, it was a case of like, nah, I'm not interested. That doesn't interest me. But it was like, do your own thing, what you want to do, but I've just got no interest in that side of it. And I'm like, well, there's no point speaking to you about that side of it then. But I'd rather go back to what I enjoy. Because I think what I've done is I've made the channel for so everybody else would be interested, but I don't feel happy in my own self. And I'm like, why do I not feel happy in my own self? Is there something that I've not thought about while I've been trying to get the channel forward? As I've been trying to push it forward? Because I do like the thing is I do like the people. I get on well with the people. It's like Johnny Five. I know Johnny Five through hazy days. I know Ian Matthews because I time he was watching his videos religiously when I first started, and it was like classic rescue. It's like classic rescue. That's why it was a big channel that I was trying to comment to. That's how I found out about YouTube. And then when I found out about YouTube, I started commenting on other channels, and then I said to Baggett or whatever, I mentioned to Baggett, to Vincent, I mentioned about the leg, and then he says, I think that's what I've forgot about, stuff that exactly what you just said, Tyho. You should do what you enjoy. I think what I've done is I've thought about the what ifs. What if this, what if that, as in with the mobile phone side of it, and thought, well, I don't want the negative comments, and then decided I'm going to do something different that I haven't done before. I know a bit about coins because I was doing them when I was younger or whatever, because Dad was talking about 10 bob note and all the rest, which I turned around and says, well, I don't disbelieve you, but I want to be able to see it for myself about the 10 bob note. So I started messing about with the old UK coins, but then decided I didn't want to follow everybody else, as in be like the sheep, like to follow the sheep. It's like somebody decides I want to do this, and then everybody follows suit. So everybody's doing the same thing. So it's the same content or the similar content as somebody else is doing. And I was like, I don't want to do that. I want to be different. I want to be different and unique. That's why I went on to USA, because I saw the big USA following, and I thought, hold on a minute here. Wonder if I can develop into with the USA lot, because YouTube is more USA than British. And I was like, I can't find the British channels. I couldn't find the British channels. So then I decided, Well, if I'm following the USA, why not do something that's USA then? And get in with their lot, and get in with them lot. And that's what happened. That's what happened. And I got on well with you lot. So I was like, well, if I fit, I might as well just keep doing it. That's exactly what I done. But I was like, well, I want content for the channel. So I was like, well, I need American coinage. I'm not going to ask for American coinage. I'm not going to turn around and say I'm going to give me that American coinage for nothing. I wouldn't do that. It's not the type of person I am. I'd rather turn around and say, well, if you're going to send me something, I'm not wanting you out of pocket. So I would turn around and say, well, much do you need? Or much do I need to fork out for you to give me that? Because I would like to be able to talk about that for to put content in the channel. That's exactly what I did. But then when I realised the other week that I wasn't happy with myself, and I'm trying to answer myself in my own head, I'm trying to answer the question, why do I not feel happy? Why do I not feel happy for? I should be happy, but I'm not happy. That doesn't make sense to me. And I was like, what have I missed? What have I missed? What have I did why do I not feel happy? Because I'm making the content for everybody else rather than myself. And I was like, well, don't get me wrong, hi-ho, I love doing the videos. I do enjoy doing the videos. And I love when everybody comments to the videos or I see the likes on the videos because I'm like, that makes me happy knowing that other people like what I've just put out there. When I don't get that feedback back, I feel that it's a waste of time. It's a wasted time. It's me wasted my time doing something or doing that content and nobody's even interested in it or nobody's even liked it. When you get a couple of likes on it, at least then you turn and say, well, at least somebody's liked it. So I must have done something right because you can adapt it. You can adapt it, whatever it is. And that's how I was like, well, maybe I should adapt it. But then you're looking at your analytics and you're going, right, well, I did that time. There's 94 views there and there's only 40 odd views there. So what did I do different for that one to this one? But then you're like, well, if I don't enjoy doing that, what's the point of doing it in the first place? And this one was, as I said, because I seen Johnny Five's Tracy's post on Jeanette Pickens. Because I do look in the Facebook, I do keep up in the Facebook. I've got friends that have sent me friends requests, but then when I don't accept a friend request unless I see something that resembles either the person that I've seen on panel or as in hosting on a channel or as in it shows me something that's YouTube related so that I can know that is that person. Because I've had friends request for other groups and all the rest, and I'm like, I don't even know you, I don't even know him, I don't even know that person, and then they're tagging a mutual friend, and I'm like, that's only one mutual friend. But surely that mutual friend should know that person. And then I've had to go to that person and say, by the way, do you know that person? And then they've turned around and said, I don't know them, Matt. Well, why is it tagged me for? But it's interested in selling stuff on the Facebook group. That's what it's there for. It's followed the Facebook group. And then, but it's partly to do with, as in what we do on YouTube, as in the coin community, by buying coins. But you get into these groups hoping that other people that have got YouTube channels are in that group. That's what you're hoping. So then the group builds bigger in that group. And then you can buy out of that group without knowing or without being scammed or ripped off. Because there is a lot of people in the Facebook groups, that have actually went to auctions or whatever, or I get somebody's done an auction within that group, they've spent the money, passed the money over to that person, and then they've disappeared. And that's what I said to Polly, as in I was talking to Polly, because Polly's a member of certain groups on Facebook, and I says to him, what's the crack with this? What's the crack with this one that we're in, and the crack against this other group? It's called, what's it called? Numismatic blacklist, it's called. And they're shanning somebody else for another group, saying don't buy for him, and they had something about, they were talking about the admins within it. But I talk to them first before accepting friend requests. Exactly, hi-ho. I don't blame you, buddy. I talk to them first before accepting friends requests now. I sometimes go into Messenger and I'm like, who are you? And if they don't answer, I'm like, I'm not accepting you, because I don't want to be the problem child, as in that somebody that's supposed to be one of my friends, or somebody that said they were a friend, or I've accepted them as a friend, and then end up they tag everybody else and they cause problems. Exactly. Why are you sending me a request? Exactly, hi-ho. That's how I was like that, and I'm like, and it's through other groups. It's because I'm in with other groups, but it's because I want to look at the posts of what people's putting, understand what they're talking about, if it's related to coins, and then look at errors or varieties or whatever, and actually look at pictures and say, right, what do you think about that, and get other people's opinion. Because that's like me when I do the show and tell with the coins. It's not because I want to find an error or variety on them. I put them under a microscope to let everybody else see them. To let somebody see, because somebody might turn and say, well, I like that coin that you just put there. And then you start getting, how much is that? What do you think it's worth? All these kind of questions. And okay, it might be your knowledge or your information that you're giving them, but it's nice to give that information out as in thing, because it might be somebody that's only just started or learning about coinage, and they're like, no sure. I've seen groups where they're like, is this an error? And they're showing umpteen coins. And I thought it was funny the other week here. I was like, I'll send 50 pictures of pennies, as in a full roll of 50 coins, 50 pictures, asking, is there an error? Is there an error? And is there an error on every coin? Because there was certain people that were in the, because there's a, what's it called? There's one called pennies, errors and weeks or something it's called. I don't know if it's something to do with Paula Bloom or not. I don't know. Or whether it's a different group. And some people have put pictures in there like, is that got an error? Is this got an error? Is that a variety? Is that a key date? And then what do you think of that picture? Has it got anything on it? No, I do like the Facebook. I like the Facebook groups, but I also like YouTube as well. But I tend to like the YouTube panels, and then I sit and listen to the knowledge. As in, it's like you know more about Australian coins, and then you've got other people that are like pennies that know about pennies. And then you've got other ones that know about nickels. Then you've got other ones that know about all different coinage, and they'll start and talk about it all. But you're picking up valuable information when you're listening to because you're looking at what they're looking at, and then you're trying to tune into it, as in where you're supposed to be looking at it. Exactly, hi ho, coin nerds. Exactly. Exactly. I started it off, or I started buying coinage off of Lemonhead because I was like, I didn't want. Was the facty thing with somebody else taking them into the coin community and then making profit on them? It was about keeping it within the coin community. That was the whole idea behind it. Me buying stuff off of Lemonhead because I was like, well, if I have it, and it means then we know exactly where it is, and it means then that there's more chance of me putting it back into the community. Because I knew fine well that I wasn't interested in profit. I'm never one for profit. I'm quite happy if I bought a coin and I earn £2 or £3 off it extra, I'm quite happy. I'm quite happy. If somebody earns more off it, that's one of the things. You just got to accept it. That's what I said. I don't like people that come back and they're like, hey, you're stupid. And it's like as if they're saying, you're stupid. You're stupid. I got that off you and then I done well at that coin. As in I made time me such and such of it. Interested. I'm not interested. But it's nice to hear somebody turn and say, oh, by the way, I done well with that coin. You get any more like that? Or if you get anything else that you think maybe I could take off you? My mum was a bit like that as well. He used to hate when people would hang me. It was like rubbing salt in the wounds as in hang me because they would have the contacts and then they'd be like, well, I earned such and such out that. And it was as if we were rubbing it in, as in, you're daft, you're stupid, you don't know what you're doing. But they don't realise that you're buying it cheaper than what they've actually thing me, than what it's cost them to buy it off of you, as in, and then they've got to then resell it again. And then the time it's I just lose money, what's a profit? I think it depends how cheaply you pay for something. If you pay cheaply for something and it's not costing you a lot of money, it's not so bad because either you get your money back at it or a wee bit of profit. It's better than losing money. My man says to me one day, he says, son, so you buy something, you lose money at it. You might make the odd mistakes when you're learning. He says, but you always remember the mistakes you made. But the thing is, if you keep losing money out of what you're buying, you're doing it wrong. You need to rethink what you're doing. But I've always been one for, I always stick to the bottom or the cheap end. I see something and I go, I look at something, I go on eBay and I look at something and I'll go, I want to hang me, I want to go and, if something's, say for instance, something's on eBay, right, and I see it and I think to myself, there's still money left in that. But I don't want to pay full price what that person's asking. So I'll go, if there's a like a best offer or whatever, I'll put a best offer in, but I'll think it to half its cost. But then I'm like that to the person, well, okay, I might have offended you. By putting in that offer, but that's why the best offer's there in the first place. But if they turn around and say, no, I think your offer's a wee bit too low, well, how much do you need it to? How much do you need it to eat? Oh, I need that out of it. I don't mind giving another person a couple of pound extra on it because they've taken the time to go and get it. They've went to the right contacts to get it in the first place. And it's good quality gear. So you know fine well there's money still in it. Because there's people that'll there's dealers that's greedy, and there's dealers that'll be a case of they'll make enough to make a living, as in to put bread and butter on the table, and they're no greedy, so they're quite happy to work with another dealer. It's like Joe when Joe does that rolling stuff back. I don't know why he does it in the first place. I've never seen somebody do that before, as in at an auction, and then go, oh well, it went to that price, and then they go, well, I'm not taking that. I'm going to roll it back to 30. Now, it's been decided by people bidding in that auction that it's 36 or whatever it is. Hi, William. I'm not doing the thing with the wheel tonight. I've got stuff ready, William. I've got stuff ready for the other week there when we didn't have enough people come in to chat. But I was doing it for J5, Johnny 5, because what happened is some dirty rotten bugger stole his set of wheels. They didn't steal his wheels off the motor. They actually stole the motor. They stole it. And I saw it in Jeanette Pickering's. And you know me, I'm a big soft touch. I'm a big softy. If I see somebody that I've connected to, Alexander Smith, hop, you're having fun trying to read this, but that's okay. I'm something a distraction. LOL. I can actually see better. It looks, that picture on the screen as I'm looking at it looks fuzzy, but when I put them on, it actually looks better. But when I didn't put them on, I feel as if my eyes is trying to focus to the glasses, to the actual glasses themselves. And the only reason he gave me them because I went up to the doctor's a couple of months ago, and it was a case I was complaining about headaches. I was having dizzy spells, and he asked me a few questions, and he says, I think you better go and get your eyes checked. And when they checked it, they were like, well, I think it's because the blue tint, it's because the blue tint off the screen. You're looking at a screen too long or a tablet too long. He goes, it comes off your phone, it comes off a tablet, and it comes off a monitor screen. This blue light. So they're like, well, if the blue light's affecting your eyes, then it's causing you to have the headaches. Then you might as well get the blue tint. It's got a blue tint in the glass, and the glass itself, or they put a blue tint on it. But I can see the blue tint inside the glasses, because they're but David Brown's or something like that, some kind of, they're fancy, they're actually fancy frames, they're not cheap frames, but I didn't have to pay for the frames. I only paid £25 for the thing, for the blue tint. I wondered if those glasses worked. William Mac, as I'm saying, the screen looks it looked fuzzy, and then when I put them on, it actually it clears that screen up, or the actual, when I'm looking at it, the picture looks fuzzy if I don't have them on, and it actually looks better. It looks clearer when I've got the glasses on, but it's trying to focus into my eyes as I'm putting the glasses on, and I'm like, as if it feels as if I'm straining the eyes as in trying to focus with the glasses themselves. Because because I've not got a problem with I've not really got a problem with vision. But then when I was complaining about the headaches, because I couldn't work out what the headaches was because of, I just thought maybe it was lack of fluid or something, maybe no drinking enough, causing the dizzy spells as in when going down. I had a prescription. Because I never had to pay. I didn't have to pay anything towards them. The only thing I paid for was the tint. Was because she was like, well, the blue tint, you get them blue tinted. The actual the glass itself. She went, it'll cost you £25. And I'm like, can I afford that? I was like, do I really want them? Do I really want that? Do I really want to pay that? And I was like, I go ahead, on you go. Okay. But then I had them on the fridge, and I don't know what happened the other day. I was doing something, and I was like, I might as well wear the glasses. If I've got the glasses, then I should be actually wearing them. I should actually put them on more. And then I put them on, and I was like, what the fuck? And I'm looking like that. And then I thought, they're actually alright with it. Because we've got the bayonet lights here that we've got, they're not like clear bulbs. They're like frosted bulbs. So it's like when you look at them, it's like a cream light. So it's like a yellow or an off white. And I was like, and I'm looking up at the bulb, and I thought, that actually looks alright. I can actually think me. That looks as if it's a lot clearer. Whereas I'm looking up at that bulb. Mentally, you're with me everywhere I go, William me. Aye, because he goes to all the places that you do. Dying freaking awesome, taking pictures and post. Freaking likes to take pictures, and then he puts them on his timeline or whatever. But then he'll look at coins or whatever. He probably takes pictures and then looks at coins he's on. He's like, I've got that. I've got one of them similar. I've got one similar to that. And away and looks at it. There's actually 6 in the chat. It's actually, it's actually good to have 6 in the chat, but I was going to go to Jeanette's anyway. As I said, I was only going to do one live, but then I missed last week. Or did I miss last week? I can't mind if I missed last Saturday. I can't remember if I came on last Saturday or not. Because I did do, that's what I'm saying. You're a bag that's for the bits and pieces. It's all ready to go for yous to win. There it's there. There's first, second and third prize. I thought about getting those blue tinted glasses because the phone picture looks smaller to me for some reason. Good day, mate. I'm trying to say it in a Australian. Good day, mate. Good day. Good day, mate. Good day, mate. I love the one where they did a Foster's advert and it goes, Snowy! Snowy! I can see the bird from here! That's what I said, William. It was on this. They say a mobile phone in the colour regime or whatever, it's in the resolution of the screen or whatever. There's a blue ray that comes off. There's a blue ray that comes off it. That's what they said. as a Blu-ray, and it actually can strain your eyes by looking at a screen for too long. Because actually, she says a phone. It comes off a phone, it comes off a tablet, and it comes off a monitor screen. Because actually, she says, how long are you on a laptop for, or actually looking at a screen? I went, well, I never really gave it a thought. Never gave it a thought for a minute. And I went, I spend a lot of time on my tablet, because I go and lay up and I have it like that and hold it like that with the tablet, the 8-inch or whatever. I can't remember if it's an 8-inch or a 10-inch one, because when I first got a tablet, I was like, I tried an 8-inch or a 7-inch, and I was like, that's too wee for me. I was like, I want a 10-inch. I'm trying to slow down, hi-ho, try to remember, because it's as if my brain is working at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and I forget that you can't pick up as quick. Because I do watch the ones where you see there's 2 or 3 people that's on, I don't know if they're on TikTok or on Facebook, and there's one that's Glasgow, but it's called Glasgow Bible, and there's I've seen 2 women, as in sort of young generation, I think probably around about late 30s or something, late 30s, and they're picking up in the Scottish, and sometimes when they get a good comment, they pick up on it, on the comment on it about the accent. Because somebody said something to this lassie or something, or this woman, and she went, you can't understand an English act, as in something about you needed something about a translator or something she went on about. Scottish accent is hard to understand for most people. I understand. I'm still trying to figure out what he just said now. It's taking a while for me, LOL. Because I used to think it was funny, as in when I first came on YouTube, and I used to go in panels or whatever with other people, and they just looked confused, and I never really gave it a thought at first, and I was like, what's wrong? And then I was like, what's wrong? Why is he looking, or she looking at me like, really funny? And then I realised that maybe I was going too fast for them, but there was only certain people that could understand when I would talk the speed that I was talking at, and it ended up that there was a couple of translators, like Melissa was one, which is Hoovy, and then there was like Youper Girl, but Youper Girl's passed away. Amy's passed away, so Amy's not here anymore. Because Youper picked it up, but Youper only picked it up because she obviously went out with somebody that had a Scottish accent, so she'd picked up all the words that he'd ever said to her and knew exactly what he was saying, and she could actually translate what I was saying to other people. And then it was like Hoovy, and Hoovy says to me, what's this dime me? And it took me ages to work out what she was trying to say. Dime me. And I was like, oh, that's ding me. It's as if I get stuck in a word or it's as if I know what I'm going to say in my own head, and it's like as if it's in my own mind before I even say it. And then if I go into a different topic or I don't say it straight away, I forget, and then I'm like oblivious of where I am or where I was in the conversation. This channel, Thoisis changed his accent and messed up their chat and messed up their channel. I stand on my head to read freaking awesome's chats. No, I learned to the first time I ever seen something that was reversed and it was back to front, and I'm sitting there trying to read it, and I had to concentrate to actually read it the first time I ever done it, as in reading it back to front. But I was telling Freaking, if it words is mixed up, as in like back to front, or they're jumbled, because I love word search. I love a good word search. I'm crap. I'm crap at crossword, as in this, as in like when it says as in like a word or whatever, and you have to think of the opposite word of that word, as in when it's telling you, as in like when it's like cryptic, as in crosswords. I can never get them, but like word search, I love a word search book, as in looking for a word, as in and it's all the jumbled up letters of the actual word, but it's actually on a crisscross pattern or whatever. LOL, William me. Freakins. Freaking is. LOL. No, but that's why I love doing the hosting, because I'm interacting with you guys in the chat. I'm waiting for the next thing that's been said in the chat, but I'm not really bothered about. What the title of the live stream is. All I'm interested in is watching you guys, as in with the chat, and interacting with that chat, because I don't like feeling like as if somebody's getting missed, because it's like somebody turning and saying to the host, and they're like, and they keep trying to get the host's attention, and they're like, remember to read the second last one, and it's as if you've forgotten, but you're watching the speed of the chat as it's going up. But then it depends how fast the chat's going at the time, because the more people you've got in your chat, the faster it'll go up. And that's when you've end up got to speed it, end up slowing it down. And then if you slow it down for like 30 seconds, it means then that person, when they're typing in the chat, they can't type for another 30 seconds, because it'll time it. It's as if it times it out. And people get annoyed with that as well when it's like 30 seconds slowdown. I only really came on for Johnny Five because obviously I seen the timeline of Johnny Five's timeline. Or it was Tracy sent it to Jeanette's Facebook group, as in because it's part of Jeanette Pickern's channel, but it's Jeanette Pickern's Facebook group, and that's where I seen it on the timeline. And then shared it on Minds, as in what had happened to him, and then decided maybe it's worth doing a live, because I was like, well, maybe we can find what he's looking for, or the car that somebody just stolen. Somebody stole his Toyota RAV4. Somebody stole it, I don't know how they got it, whether they got the keys to it or whatever, or they come in. I think the way you see they come into his house and took the keys, and then fucked off with the motor. So they stole the motor, and they couldn't find the motor, so he ended up had to get another motor to get about. And I saw it, and because I get close to people, I get attached to people. And that's what happened. And I was upset because obviously I knew that how he felt, or how gutted he would feel. And I was like, I wonder if there's a way of helping them. I don't want to go to the coin community and say, oh, by the way, because I don't know the facts. I need all the facts first before I do anything, before I work out anything. But then I was wanting to go to the coin community as in if it was last resort. But I was like, if it can help him, then even better. Because I don't mind putting coins together or whatever and losing a couple of coins to help somebody else out. Because then it makes you feel good when you've helped somebody else out. Because he's not got a lot of money. But I've not got a lot of money either. I only got enough to keep me going, or to keep the channel going. That was the whole idea behind the shipping pot fund. The shipping pot fund is not being spent. There's 103. They're actually in the shipping pot fund at the moment. There's 103 pound and 65 pence, I think there is. And I'm like, where did that come from? I was like, right, Paulie put in money, Ink put in money, Shane put in money, which is Irish Collector. I think David Carlisle put some money in. I'm trying to think of the ones that all put in money. Because that was the whole idea. Because it was to help me as in get your stuff shipped out. Your stuff's so there. There's about 5 bags. There's actually 5 bags. There's 5 bags. There is 5 bags of stuff as in it's all got your names on them. They've all just to go out, or they've to get so far in the bags, or so full in the bags, because that's how I say to you, what's the point of putting it in bits and drabs? Wait until it's quite a bit, and then send it all at one time. Exactly, William. Exactly. But then I get my mum made it now. You got all this stuff, what you gotta do with it? And then end up, there's more stuff coming in by the day. Alright, okay. So does that mean then that I have to stop buying? But my dad says you never stop buying, because you can't just, it's like you've got stock now, but if you don't have enough stock, it ends up, it runs down, and then you've got to replenish it, and it might cost you more. So you might as well buy it while it's at the right money now, and then stock it up, stockpile it, and then you've got enough to keep you going. But Mum doesn't get that. Mum doesn't get that concept. Mum doesn't. But then Dad would only have a certain amount of stuff in here at one time, and then it would go out. But then his money would then end up with it. He bought stuff to resell it, would go and drink. But mine's doesn't. Mine's doesn't go and drink. Mine's goes in other stock. But the thing is, I don't count the money that you have put in, guys, into that shipping pot fund as mine's. It's not mine's to play with. So that's why I've not touched it. But last time I did have to touch it because I was short on funds, but it did go back on coins. It didn't go on anything else. It went back in coins. So that we'd have enough stuff to put into the game. Because that was the whole idea of the game, was to get as in bits and pieces for the game. And the minimum, and when I do the minimum prize, the minimum prize is about so that others don't feel left out. It's like if there's only three, right? So you'd get, say for instance, you do a couple of GAWs, so you do two GAWs, right? So there's two prizes there, and then you do first, second, and third. So there's only three prizes, right? So that's two GAWs and three prizes, the main tops. So there's only 5 people win, right? And you get, say, 30 people. There'll be one that'll feel left out. I don't win nothing, and he'll go away in a huff, and then he'll go and tell somebody else, oh, that's fixed, that's rigged, oh, there's favouritism in there. He only gives out certain ones. There's no favouritism. It was all a case of so everybody felt as if they weren't left out, and that's why I started doing the minimum prize. But then it depends how many coins you put in the minimum prize. Are you going to do that all the time? As in five coins at a time? So it's 5 times 12. It's 5 coins in a bag, right? Times that by 12. Times that by 12. And you do that every week without failure. Every week without failure. So you get 365 days in a year. And you're doing that once a week, every week. And there's 4 weeks in a month. 4 weeks in a month. I think it was the fact of volume, it was the fact of, as in putting on something that people would enjoy, as in make it feel fun as well for them to come to the channel. A reason for them to come to the channel. I think that's what it was. It was a reason to come to the channel. There's people's like that. But you get 1,000 new ones coming to the channel, and they're like, you get 1,000 in your channel, but you've not got many people coming into your live, or there's no many people in the chat, but you have 1,000 subscribers or 1,000 supporters, so you should have a big crowd as in coming into your chat. But the thing is, William, if I give you something and then you do a video, right, for me, right, that gets me out there further. So it puts me in the YouTube system, and it gets me out further than the algorithm, what they call the algorithms. It's all to do with algorithms. It's not a case of as in they put you or you're number one in their system. It depends how further you go up their list. The more views you get, the further you go up their list, the higher you go. But it's because it's an automatic bot. It's an automatic bot that does their system. So it tells it by algorithms. It's amazing how a computer works, as in or the language it speaks, for to understand how it connects or how it goes through a search. Because it's like you're doing a search engine, right? So you put in somebody's name and you're looking for that specific name of that person, right? But then you look for that person and there's umpteen people by that same name. So then it breaks. It's amazing how it breaks it actually down, because what'll happen is, see when you put a long sentence into Google search engine, it'll actually take words that it recognises and go on, and that's when you can get all your search pages. But as you go further down the search pages, it actually breaks the word up into like 3 syllables for it to take me to figure it out. I've seen a few channels get over 100 to 200 people in the chat. William, it depends how many supporters you've actually got, but I didn't go about as in how I wasn't one of these ones that I didn't want to be famous and I didn't want to as in profit with the coins, because I was like, well, some people were going on and what they done was is they built up their YouTube channel, and then when they get to 1,000 subscribers, they tend to change as a they tend to change as a person. You've won a couple of times, David. I think you've got one big package that's still to go, and you've got one that's as in like a little package where you cut a bits in it. And Polly's actually to get a package. His packages like that, and so is Ink's. So I need to put one of yours out, Inkman's and Polly's. But I need to get the addresses, the proper addresses, because our postal, when I got our postal, they want name and surname, and they also want the full address, the actual full address, and the postcode or the zip code. They want the zip code or the PO box number with the PO box code, so that it goes through the right system. Because they're a bugger for that one. I took a parcel up one day and they're like, that's not properly addressed. I went, it is. It's got everything on it. No, it's not. There's part of that missing. I went, well, I'll need to go back. I didn't start arguing with them, because I was like, I'm going to lose anyway, this battle, and I was like, I'm going to get thrown out of here. So I went, okay, then I'll need to take it back down the road again. So I went back on the email and I says, look, can you do me a favour? Can you give me your full address, as in the way it's wrote down or whatever? If you've got a letter or anything, you can give me where it's got a full address, the whole address, the whole part of it. If there's any bit that's like a city or whatever, or a town, but the town or whatever on it as well. I see, so that basically when I take it back up to them, it's exactly the way it is. Because they're a bugger. The Royal Mail's a bugger. And there's a few times where they've there's a few times where they've been in. I says, you can see that address on the thing, on that screen, but not all the time that the automatic system will pick it up. Sometimes it'll only pick half it up, or a part of it up, and then they're starting to look as on that screen or whatever, and they're like, well, it must be there, or it must be that one. Because I says to them, I'd love to be able to see the other side of that screen, where it gives you like a map or something, and then show you the next town to the other one, to the one that obviously, because a postal code only goes so far. It's like G75, and then you've got like G74, but then you'll have like the last two letters, and then it probably go into the next town. Hi, Jack. I think Jack's got two. Jack's got two bits as well. That's why I said to you, Jack, just keep coming as more frequent, because if you're put into the wheel, it means then that your bag will get bigger. It's a case of finding stuff, because I've been busy. I've been busy on eBay. I've been actually busy for the last 2 days on eBay, listing stuff. Because that's what I said. That's what takes more of the time. It's like you do the pitch. I didn't realise that the pictures actually take longer now, because you actually it'll let you put on eBay system now. It'll allow you 24 pictures, 24 photographs on one listing, and then it says free listing. But that's a load of baloney about that free listing, because the way they work it, eBay work it, is when you sell that item, when you sell that item on eBay, then they take their fee off it. They take their actual fee off it. Every time you sell something on their system, they take a percentage of it. As I think it's like 2% or something like that, or 0 point something, 0.5 for something like that it is. But it actually shows you in your monthly statement. If you actually go into your monthly statement, there's like, when you go into your account, you can actually download the PDF file. And when you download the PDF file, it'll tell you everything, and it breaks it down. As in the whole thing, it breaks it down. That's what I said. I didn't actually want to do coins on you. I didn't actually want to do coins on eBay, but I put like 4 coins or whatever on eBay, but I've only put them on as trial and error, because I came up with that. When I said to you about, I thought about the one, keep, donate and sell. And the reason why I come up with that idea is because I was like, well, Polly said about go through my bag, Alec, and give me a breakdown of every coin that monkey, every coin that you're sending me. I says, well, that's going to take me time to give you every one and sit with every one of the coins and tell you exactly every coin that you've got in that package. He goes, but I don't really want doublers, because there's no point having more that I don't need. So I totally got what Polly was saying, but then I thought, hold on a minute. What if I done 5 coins, put them in a bag, and say, for instance, you had them already? And that's why I was like, hold on a minute here. If we do a system where we do keep, donate, and sell, it means then you have the choice to pick. And I thought, well, if they've got a choice to pick, but that's more work for me. But then I thought, no really, because it'll give me more of a kick up the ass to actually list stuff on eBay or to sell on eBay, because I used to put stuff religiously on eBay, but phones, and I thought, well, if they gave me a kick up the ass, it means then that I have to do it, because if you come in and turn and say, by the way, I had stuff that you said you were going to sell on my behalf, so I've got to list that stuff on for you to give you the money out, or to put it back into the shipping pot fund or whatever you want to put it into, right? So it means then that I would have to list it on my eBay, which meant then that would give me a kick up the ass to actually list stuff, as in phones or whatever, on eBay. And that's what I was thinking about, the keep, donate, sell. But then when it felt as if it wasn't going to work, I thought, well, we might as well resort back to the old way and just give it, and then that's that, end of story. And then it saves me having to do it like as in a long stream, because I'm thinking the more you have to wait for you guys to make up your mind, the longer the stream is. But then I wasn't really worried in how long the stream actually was. I lost my I don't know what that is, Jack. I lost my alright, is that iPhone? I lost my iPhone Thursday and had to buy a new one. I had to buy a new one. I went back to where I thought Don't tell me you went back to where you thought you lost it and found it. I don't know how about the Oppos because I know they're Chinese. I know they're Chinese, but some of the Chinese phones are really good. Are really good phones. Bummer. Hope you can get it, but try the police station. Someone might turn it in. William, iPhones have got a what's it called? FMI. FMI stands for Find My iPhone. That's FMI. But see if that's turned on. It's, it's not an easy job to get it off unless you are the last user of that phone. I can't even turn it off. I can't even turn it off. I've got to have specialised equipment to turn that off in the first place. It fell off my truck and I found it just now. Well, how did I know that one, Jack? I knew that would happen. It depends, William, if you've got that turned on or not. You can actually turn it off. I've got my detect thing off in mine's. I've got the backup off in mine's as well. Because I don't want pictures on that. I don't want any pictures as in set in case I've got kinky pictures on it for a woman or whatever. I don't want to be sharing it with everybody else. Because there's been some times where I've had ones off a dating site and they've sent me like really erotic photographs, and I'm I don't want people seeing that. And they've told me don't give that to anybody else. It's busted up. Jack, best bet, eBay, buddy. Look on parts not working. A complete one, Jack. It's never been touched, as in it's still got the screen intact and the screws are still intact in it. Find the exact model of whatever iPhone it is. If it's an iPhone 6, 7 or whatever, go on eBay system and look iPhone 7 or 8 and look on parts not working or parts only, and find a good donor one that you can take everything out of that you need, because you're not really worried about the board. You're not really worried about the PCB board in it, because you can take your PCB board that you're one and put the rest of it in it. But I don't go as far as that when I'm stripping. I usually take out screen, battery, and any little parts that I actually need. Because I've got an iPhone 6 I need to do up. There was one I was supposed to send back that I paid, I think, £20 for, I think it was. And the guy photographed it. Now, the thing was working when he had it. And I think the battery went dead in it when it got to me. And I was like, that phone's faulty. It's not even powering up. And he goes, send it back. And I thought, it's fucking pointless sending it back. But the screen on it alone's worth about £10 or £15. It's more a worry if you don't have backup for the thing with pics and the contact. Exactly, William, as in the iCloud. See the iCloud or you've got on the Android, you get Google Drive, and then you've got on the Windows, you've now got, they call it iCloud, but it's called Microsoft Store, but they've actually changed it slightly on the Windows 11. And then you've got on the iPhone, you've got the iCloud activation, when the iCloud activation is a hell of a job to try and get it off. iCloud activation, especially if you've not got the user identification stuff, like the email address or password. But there is what you call a bypass. There is what you call a bypass. Cost me $1,000. I know I'm not cheap with them iPhones. Expensive. How, Jack, was that is that a 12 or a 15 you're talking? I just like knowing because I look on their prices and I'm like, and then I look it's like as in because you've got a used one, and then you've got ones that are for a company that are like factories. This is what I don't understand, right? A company has got more software than what an outside technician has, right? But an outside technician is using the same equipment that they're using. I don't get how that works. Unless they have the specialised technician that know what they're doing. Because when you're factory resetting something, surely you would be factory resetting it and you would be taking the Google account of it or the iCloud activation and the PIN code. But there's supposed to be a bypass if you don't have the user's identifications. William, I've actually got a Moto G now, as in the thing I bought in, as in it's a blue one. But the thing on it is I do not know if it's still got an activation on it because it's saying when you go into the next party, it's saying something about what's that fucking? I'm trying to think. Now. Restore the Google activation before resetting the factory. I'm trying to remember the wording of it, as in because it tells you on the phone even if you do it right when you do it, you've got a boot menu or a bootloader menu behind the back of it, and you press power button, volume up, volume down. But when you do that, it gives you onto like the last email address and password that was using. And some phones now have it's called a factory reset password protection on it. Protection. And what will happen is the device will say it wants the last email address that it was registered to, the device was registered to. Now, to take that off, you have to have specialised equipment, and that's why I've got Medusa Pro, and I've got also Easy JTAG, but you also need, which I haven't got, which I didn't know, it's on, I don't know if it's on a dongle, but they did a newer version. They done Octopus, and then you called it Octopus Pro. And what they did was on the software, there's a part called Octopus FRP, but they actually done a dongle with just Octopus FRP on it. But I don't know if you can actually incorporate it into if you've got a box or the programmer box, because according to the guy that I talked to, which is Gita Pasalia on Vintage Phones Archive, he says you can only put 3 packs think it's 3-pack, they call it 3 packs onto one programmer box. You can only have 3 programs on it, or 3 packs as they call it. They call it a pack. It's an activation pack. It's like Medusa's got like it's got like the older version, then it's got a newer version, and then it's got like the easy JTAG. So you can only put like 3 packs on the box, and then you have to buy another box. And that's why some technicians have like one box and then they've got another box, but it's the same box. But it's because of how big the actual software package is. Because when you decompress it, that's when it actually opens up, and it's the amount of packages that's actually inside it. Because with Easy JTAG, you've got like the software itself, then you've got the drivers for the box, and then you've got like the Samsung driver, you've got Samsung drivers, and then you've got the firmware as well. I don't want to lose my SD card though. Good idea, William. SD card's good because you can actually copy it. You can copy your stuff from the device onto the SD card. You can actually, there is actually a guy who I've watched him a couple of times, and somebody took him in an SD card that had went corrupt, and he actually used a programmer box that they've got as like this programmer box that they've got is called a schematic something or something. It's got a fancy name, Schmelberg or something like that. Schumler or something. It's called Schumler. Now the box that he had, or the programmer box he had, was over £2,000. That's the price. It was over £2,000 worth of equipment he was using, right? Now he had this a person had sent him in this SD card. When you're talking about SD cards, well, this is what makes my memory when you said about SD card. This person had sent in this SD card, and it was corrupt, and they couldn't get the data, obviously, that was on the card itself. He actually soldered wire, copper wire, thin copper wire, to SD card, and actually took the information from that SD card, that corrupt SD card, and sent it over to the box. And it actually turned out like in the programmer box, it turns out like all these numbers, and he sat and knew exactly which one was for which file, and could tell what data and exactly where it was. And I thought, that's clever. I have a micro SD card and to expand storage. The new Moto G, you can add a card. That's good, William. 1 terabyte. That's quite good, that. I've actually got 2 Moto Gs. I've got a Moto G it's got a crack in the thing, it's got a crack in the glass. And then there's that blue. I might actually bring it in and let you see it. I paid. What happened was I went on eBay, and there was a dealer, and I looked at something he a couple of listings for phones or whatever, and it said something about faulty or something like that, or Google locked, and he had 3 phones at like £21 or something like that. I think I gave him less for them, but I'd actually got 3 of them. There was a Samsung that wouldn't fire up. There was a Samsung that wouldn't fire up, but you had to take the battery out in the back cover. You couldn't get it wasn't a removable back cover. And there was a white one, and I'm trying to think where that blue one is. Hold on, I get the blue one. Because that says Moto G. It does say Moto on it, but I don't know if it's a Moto G or not. Does it look? I want to ask you a question. Does it look anything like when William says about it? Does it look similar to that? That's fine, David, if you've got to go. It's just because William said about his Moto G. Does it look anything like that, William? Because that one says... Hold on a minute, I'll say hello, Moto. Hello, Moto. Because somebody's reset it, William, but the thing is, as in that, I know that I've got a funny feeling that it needs, after you do the start screen in English, it says, if you have a SIM card, insert it now, and when you press skip, it's saying connect to Wi-Fi to get apps or copy data, connect to a network, and it's got a pass. It's basically got a pass. It's got like a padlock on it. It's got like a padlock there. So I'm wondering if that's still got a Google account attached to it. Even though it's been reset. Because it actually sells better if you've got it. As long as it goes to that screen. It might not be a fully working phone, but to me, I wouldn't call that parts not working, because parts not, when that's what I was trying to get at with a friend of mine's, with Scotty. I was saying to him, can you honestly answer me a question? I says, in your own mind, what would you say is parts not working? Or what would you, in your perception, what is your perception, as I said to Scott, what's your perception of something that says parts not working on it? Would that mean that, as in that would be classed as parts not working because it only powers up, it doesn't fully function? Because if it's got an FRP on it, if it's got a protected FRP, that's when you need the actual software or the actual dongle to bypass it. It's not just a case that you can manually do it. But even though that, because I put that back on without the other one, because it was done as a 3-lot. It was done as a 3-lot, but I broke it up into a 2-lot because that one, the guy couldn't work out how to get it back to the factory thing. but I found out how to do it. It did a pass, it had a pin code. It actually had a pin code still on it, because I've got all the stuff for. I've got mainly most of the stuff for Samsung, but it's when it becomes as in like the MDM, the MD, the M, like the MDM and all that car on, which actually that's when it becomes harder. But I only bought that because I seen it and I thought, oh, that look. I'm one of these people. I love a challenge. If I see something on eBay and I go, that's worth a challenge, because they don't know how to fix it. They put it on eBay and they'll go, don't know nothing about it, or I can't figure it out. So what they'll do is they'll put it as untested, or it'll say parts not working. I'll look at something and I go, that's worth picking up. But then I'll go in there and go, right, I want to pay that amount for it. I don't want to pay what the seller's asking for it. So I get in there with a lower offer, or I'll wait until they give you like, eBay will give you like a 10%. It'll say, you've been looking at this or you put it on your watch list. We'll now give you it at 10% of the 10% of the less of the asking price. So you might get like £2 off it or £3 off it by the time you're finished. That's what I usually do. Put it on a watch list. But because the amount of stuff that I've got, mum's like that. Peter, do all this? Where's it all going and all the rest? And I'm thinking, just shut up. I'm like, just leave me alone, ma. Stop bugging my tits, as in keep on and on and on at me. And then she went, that's another year went past me, you've not put nothing on. You keep saying about you're going to put it on. So what happened is she's away for a week, but she's supposed to be back, I think, she'll either be back Sunday or Monday. And then I think she's here for a couple of weeks, and then she's away in August again. So she's away for, I think, 2 weeks in August. So I'm like, right, well, when she's away, I'm like, I can then put stuff on her bed, on her bed in the main room or in there where it's tidy or tidier, and actually be able to work on it, organising it, and also listing it on there. That's what I did. I actually get 15 items on. I get four listings, two coins, and a when you get the you know how you get the plastic flips. Well, I put 2 coins in the plastic flips, and I sealed the plastic flips, and I had 4 of them. So I thought that's 4 listings I can have of them, because I thought, well, if I don't get any joy with phones, or as in phones to start moving again, I thought it might be worth me putting a couple of coins on, because I was like, well, if I can get the ball rolling, because I'm thinking to myself, if I can get the ball rolling, then when it starts rolling, I can then put stuff on at its back. Is that what you find me, eBay? See if you've not been on it for a long time, and say, for instance, you've been on it, say religiously you've been on it for 6 months, right? And you've been selling for the last 6 months, right? So when you put stuff on it, and say, for instance, you don't stop doing it, you'll have that ball rolling. But see, when you stop doing it, and say, for instance, you didn't do it for a full 2 months or 3 months, you've been 3 months away from it, so you try to get the ball rolling again, to actually get wheels turning, is a lot harder. And that's what I'm finding at the moment, as in trying to get the wheels to turn, as in it's taking its bloody fucking, honest to God, it's like really pressure now, try to get it to go. But then when I put a couple of iPhones on it, and I put a couple of iPads on it, and I noticed that the views for iPads and iPhones, there was an iPad that I put on it. I only put it on the day, and I had 37. I'd actually 37 views on it, and I thought that's actually not bad. But I usually don't touch. I usually don't touch iPhones because obviously when you're buying them as parts not working, you don't know what's wrong with them. It could be a case that it needs a screen. It could be a case that it needs a battery. It could need more than that because you don't know. Because on eBay you don't get even if you go into the description, sometimes you don't get the truth of exactly what's wrong with it or what is faulty on it. And there's been times where I've asked like sellers or other dealers, and I'm like, what is wrong with that? What is faulty on that item? Can you tell me what you found, what you actually found wrong with that phone? Because at least if another technician, it's like taking a car to somebody and you go, oh, that car won't start, so they pull it in or they towed it in or they put it in a recovery truck and then they take it over a recovery truck. And the poor technician goes, well, what's wrong with the car? And they go, I don't know. The customer goes, I don't know. It just wouldn't start. So that poor technician went, fucking, he's scratching his head and he's thinking, well, I don't know where to start. People always say, exactly, William, people always search how to fix their phone. I've done my own repairs as well. I know. What happened is we went to Blackburn one day and we picked up this phone off a dealer, and I always remember it was a Sony Ericsson, one of Sony Ericsson range, like I think it was the A2618 something was, and it was like £14 or something like that. So my dad pays the £14 and takes the phone home. Phone's not working. The old man goes like that. He says, I know his face somewhere. He says, but I'm not sure where. So we goes down the town, I think on Monday the Tuesday, because he used to go to the cash and carry. No, and she says, come on, we'll go for a walk, go for a wander. She says, where we going? Into town. Go and get your clothes on and try me come with me. Into town. Aye, alright. She says, but what we going for? Just a wander, just to see. She says, but you need to go to cash and carry anyway. It was a Tuesday or something like that. So the man and the old man's walking along the Trongate. And there's this fucking billboard, right? There's this billboard sitting outside as I'm down the stairs. My man sees the billboard. He says, I had a funny feeling. You always, every now and again, it was like a sixth sense you get, it's like a premonition, like somebody touching him or something. He says, I need to turn this corner. So he turned the corner. There was there was like a building, and then up above there was another building up above. It was like a unit, but it was a bit, it was shut down here, but then there was a set of stairs, and he opened the fucking door, and the old man opened the door and went away up the stairs, right? And so they're away fucking about in the back, and the boy comes out, his pal comes out, it wasn't him, his pal. My man looks at the face and he goes, "These were up at Blackburn." Oh, no, he says, no, not me, fucking, not me. Say it was you. Because my man goes, I looked in the cabinet. As soon as he looks in the cabinet, sees these Sony Ericssons, but there was no a lot of them. And my man says, look, he's like, and he's turned around and he's well like that. He says, look, I've looked to the thing with the cabinet, and I've never, he says, don't say nothing. He says, whatever you do, he says, when you walk in here, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. That's fine. and that's how we found them. But when that ceased, when he stopped trading, that's when I started doing my own phones, as in like the phone repairs, because it was him that taught me. He says to me, he says, going around ball. That's when I started messing about with him. And that was what 90 back in 98 was in 98. I've still been doing them, but I do them from time to time. I don't do them as much as I used to, but I like doing the repairs more than I do as in actually selling stuff. Because I find selling stuff, it's a long process. It's a really hard process, repairing and all the rest. But I don't do it for customers. I only do it for like, as in buy stuff in for eBay. Because I got problems with a customer one day. I done an unlocking or something like that for a pally. I think I done it for a pally hers. She brought a phone round. It was a Nokia 8200. I always remember it. And she goes, "Oh, the speakers are in it or something like that." They check the speaker, do something else with it. Check the speaker, put another speaker in it. And then as I was saying me, I says, I unlocked it. So I gave her it back and I says, "Oh, you owe me for unlocking it." I says, "But I'll not charge you for the speaker." I said, "I happen to have a speaker laying about." I says, "Speaker's only a couple of quid." I said, "But I'm not going to charge you the time." I said, "Because it only took me like 20 minutes or something like that. I never even charged her for fucking an hour's work or whatever." I says, "But I've unlocked it." So she gave me the money, and it was a fiver or a tenner. Fucking 2 days later, she was fucking round the house, round the flat. She's adamant that the phone had been unlocked already. I didn't need to unlock it. Want her money back. And fucking it created such a hassle in our house, as in the havoc between our pal and fucking my ex partner. Well, she's my ex partner now. It was my wife at the time, or who I was going with, because we were going with each other for like 7 years, and then we get married after that, after 7 years, and we were together 14, and but I just fucking gave her. I wasn't going. I stood there, and it was blatant, as in back and forward between me and her, as this woman. I can't even fucking mind her name. She was pally with time with Hazel for years, and I fucking gave her money back. I says, "Don't fucking, I don't," and that's what made me decide not to do repairs anymore. But after having that customer, I was like, never again, never again. I says to Hazel, I says, "If I'm buying stuff or whatever," I says, "I'm not doing repairs." I says, the stuff we bring in or whatever else, as and it's got to be tested." But I didn't have all the fancy equipment back then, as in thing. I used to have a set of screwdrivers or whatever, set of security bit screwdrivers. Didn't even have a fucking soldering iron. I think three boxes I had, as in three equipment boxes, as in that were basically as in push buttons, as in it was unlocking clips at the time back then that I was using, and I didn't have them for all the different makes and models, because you've got all different brands. You've got like, it's the one that Dingmy said about Hi-Ho said, you've got the Oppo, then you've got the Hawaii, and then you've got another one. It's a Eximio or something, Eximia or something, or X. It starts with a X, Exomo or something. It's called, which are Chinese brands, and then you've got the HMD, you've got the Motorola, you've got the LG. But I've got some of the stuff for I've got some of the software for the LG, the Samsung, and the older Nokia. but the older Motorola Alosta box, as in that she's fucking still got on the road. She never gave me the thing, man, my laptop back, because it had it had the ME13 version for all the older stuff. But Gita's got a box. Gita's got a Papa. Gita's got a box. Gita's got a box now that he's rebuilt, and he's wanting 200 and it's 240 quid for it. But it's version 13, version 13, but it's like a big box he's built with it, and it's got all the stuff. But the only thing is, he's got the box, he's got the software for the box, but no the cables for the box. So you've not got all the old cables for the box. And that's what we found, that some of the cables, trying to get some of the cables for the older boxes, they discontinued some of the older cables. So trying to get cables for them is a fucking nightmare, some of them. Because I got that adapter because I bought it for, it was Jeff that helped me get it. As in that one for America, that one came for America. As in it was in America, there was only four available because somebody says to me, is that brand new? So I fucking don't know. Look brand new. I says it looked brand new to me because it was still in its box, not the jigs is there. Because usually if it's a used item, usually either there's parts missing, and there wasn't parts missing of that kit. So I presumed it was brand new. It was brand new. Because somebody asked me about it in one of the group, in the vintage phones archive group. Was he seen it and he's like, is that DITS, is that a brand new one? She says, I don't know. She says, it looks brand new to me. I says, and it was all in its box, everything was there in its box. Some of that equipment, what I think's happened, that when these websites were selling them, they were the distributors for obviously who made them at the time. I'm wondering if somebody had bought more of them and stashed them, and that's what happened. Because how come that there was four available? Because it was Acid Flasher that told me about that. It gave me the link for the eBay listing for it, and there was four available, as in on the listing, or it said four available. I'm wondering if somebody stashed them for at least 5 or 6 years or 10 years, because that one is very much like, it's not they done one like they called it the dolphin clip. The reason why they called it a dolphin clip was because it was shaped like a dolphin, but it had all the jigs for it. That one they discontinued, and they also discontinued that one because when Gator saw that, he's like, that's BB. He went, that's BB5. He went, that's BB5. That's for BB5. He says it'll have all the BB5 adapters in it. I was like, you're right, fucking hang me. And then I was sitting there arguing with him as well, as in comments, and he's like, he says, no, he says, you're wrong. He says, that's an F-bus adapter. See, when somebody starts confusing you, it's like you've got an M-bus adapter and you've also got an F-bus adapter. So you're trying to understand what's the difference between an M-bus adapter, an F-bus adapter, and a USB adapter, what you're showing. Because there's different cables, and there's different ways of doing them. And there's also what they call it's called test point, which was called TP. They called it TP for short, which was test point. And they built them differently. Even the cables themselves, they built the cables differently as well. Like, say for instance, like an RJ45 cable, they'll show you the pinouts for it, and it'll be like pin out 2, pin out 5, and pin out 7 and 8. And then on another cable, you'll get like, it'll say pin out 1, pin out 3, pin out 6, and pin out 7. So they're built differently. So you've got to figure out which one's for which, and which phones it does do, which phones it doesn't do. And that's the harder part. I've got to figure out which cables for what. And some of the cables have came obsolete. So sometimes you go in there and you'll see a cable and it'll say out of stock, or it'll say contact service advisor, because there's like a fucking robot thing and it says, how can I help you today? And you can actually ask it a question, but I think it's like an automatic bot that knows exactly how much they've got in stock. Because I think they've got like an automated system where it tells them how many's in stock, what's in stock, and what's not in stock on the actual website itself. But when you look up that one, they show the picture of it, but it tells you it's they discontinued it. It's a discontinued product. It says out of stock. It says notify when back in stock. When it's not coming back in stock because some of them went obsolete. Some of them get discontinued because the unlocking side of it is like 15. It's like what, 15? I think it's like 15-year-old as the unlocking side. And some of it's like, as in some of the boxes are like 4-year-old, but they're still manufacturing the box. The only reason they're manufacturing the box because it's not dead. They call it a development team. And when the development team is doing a project, it might be a long project. So it might last, say, 4 years or maybe 5 years. And then what it comes as a dead project. But the software, you can use it offline, but not online because the server is basically dead. Because when they change over the server, what happens is you change it over to, like, say, for www.co.uk, and it maybe be like 2 years they'll have it. And then what will happen is they'll change it over and it'll be like www.com, and it'll last maybe another 2 years. And then what will happen is the server will get pulled, and it'll be a case of it'll go on sometimes and then it'll not go on at other times, because it's like that one, a Sarasoft. It only comes up like every 4 months or something like that. It goes online and it'll only stay online for maybe 2 days at the most, and then it'll get turned back off again. And the only reason that it gets done is because what happens is the development team will come up with updates or figure out a new file, and what they'll do is they'll add the file to the older firmware or the older software that it was using back then, and it'll be a new update that'll be put on it. But sometimes the file's not 100%. It depends if you can get the file 100% or not. And sometimes it'll say it'll virus, or it'll pick up fucking an error, and then you'll have everybody will jump onto the GSM forum, and it'll say such and such put out a new update, and this is the error we incurred. And somebody will show a photographic evidence of what that error said on it. And they'll say, oh, go to such and such. And then it'll tell you, go such and such. And it'll be all questions or answers underneath it. But sometimes you can get a link and it'll lead you a dead end. It'll lead you to a dead end. IJP, it'll lead you a dead end. And that's it. I've been alright, JP. I didn't hang me. I didn't send your stuff out yet, mate. I need to do What I need to do is yours, probably Hugh's, Blisterns, and there's somebody else's I need to do. I need to do at least 4. But I need names and addresses. I need names and addresses. If you're owed a package, I need you to send your name and full address, so I can send it. Because people, that's what people do. Their packages and then they hang me. They don't come near me, or they don't send me an email, and I'm like, I need an email. I need a name and a proper name and address. Your full name, as in your surname, and your full address, so I can send you it. Because without that, I can't send you it, can I? I can't take it to a post office and say, oh, is there a blank email address. I know you did think I've got it, Brian something. I just need to look through the email addresses, or the thing we sent it. Because I always keep it. See if you've sent me 2 or 3 emails, what I usually do is I usually keep them, try and keep them for as long as possible. And what I usually do is just go on the search and put whatever the thing, your first line, your email address is, and it'll pop up. And if you've left your name and address, it'll give me it. Because I remember I have to send those to use Hunter. I have to send those one to you, and I think. I need to remember those. Because I need space. I need some space, man. You get days and I'm like that, and I'm thinking, I've got this today, and I've got that today, and I've got that something else today, and I've got that today. And then I go, can I be bored doing it? I'll do it later. I'll do it later. You know that way, I would put it off. I'll do it later. Then you go and sit down, and then you forget all about it. I do it more. Fucking do it more. Do it more. Do it more. Do it more. That's right. AGKs. JP, it's not compulsory, mate, because see the ones for the UK ones are not that expensive, buddy. But if you want to send us money, that's even that'll help. That's up to you. Totally up to you, buddy. If you want to put a couple of pound in the thing, man, the PayPal, you're more than welcome. Because I'll gladly use it. Because it'll go to somebody else for somebody else's package. Because that's the whole idea, is to help somebody that's maybe no got money or whatever. Because Daryl, there's been a few times where Daryl USA's come in and I'm like, but then I don't understand. There's something I don't understand, right? If you're saying that you didn't have any money, right, or you didn't have money to pay for shipping or whatever, right, and you got a freebie off of me, right, and then I see you, I'm not, JP, I'm not talking about you, I'm just talking about in general, right? So, a person turns up at an auction and they start buying out an auction, but they tell you they've not got the funds to hang me, to even help you, or even put a couple of quid in your PayPal account. How does that work? I don't get that. Somebody saying that they don't have any money, right? Or they can't afford that. And then you see them buying stuff at auction. How does that work? They can spend £10 or £20 at auction and they're telling you they don't have the money. They can't afford that. So they can't afford to put even a couple of quid into a pot because they've won stuff. But I didn't say that it was compulsory. That's why I didn't make it compulsory, because I was like, well, if I need to go back to eBay, I'll go back to eBay. because I've actually put 15 items this week on eBay, and the only reason I put them on is because my mum, who I live with, right, although that I gave her money for to stay here, is fucking on me because when she looks at the haul or whatever, she's got this thing that if there's anything lying on the floor, it drives her fucking demented. It actually drives her demented. And that's what's doing her nothing, because she's looking or going into a room where her 2 wardrobes is in it, and she sees the rest of the room and it looks like a fucking bomb site, and that's what she's on about at the moment. And then she goes, but that's a year you've been talking about it and nothing's been done. Nothing's been done. So while she was away, as in for a week, I thought I need to get on and get this done. And the last 2 days, I've spent the last 2 days on eBay, just on eBay alone, trying to do it all on and off, because it's as if I can do so much, and then all of a sudden I get fucking heat slit as if it's pounding, and it's as if taking too much on to chew, and it's like as if the pressure's on my shoulders, and it's like because I'm on it, and it's religiously you've got to do. When you go into eBay, it's like it says when you get into your account, you've got to press selling. Then it asks you what you're selling. Then it says if it doesn't find the product, you got to start looking for the product. Then put it in its category. Then you got to get photographs. Then you got to write a description. And now there's a fucking where it says when you press used, there's a little box that pops up, and it says describe the condition. So I put in it, this is a used item. Will have general wear and tear for its age. But then I'm thinking maybe I've wrote that and it's fucking wrong. Because knowing me, I don't sometimes, it's not that I can read, but sometimes I get it back to front. It's like somebody will ask me a question and want an answer. And instead of me answering it, I then resort back to getting at a question instead of answering the question that was already asked. And that's why I get it fucking arse a bit tit sometimes. And sometimes I don't read it totally and totally understand it at first. And then I go, that wasn't the thing, I wasn't supposed to write that. That wasn't what it asked. That wasn't what it asked. And it takes me a while to figure it out, because I've been a long time away from eBay as in actually listing stuff on it or selling stuff on it. Because I didn't get it off. Nobody gave me it. It was one night in particular. I was sitting thinking about something, and all of a sudden this description came to me, and I used to write the same description for the items I used to put on, and it was a case of what I write it is that the way I used to write it was this item powers up okay, screen is okay. What was the other bit here? Because what I used to put in is in that description I used to put in may be or may not be fully functional. If fully working, you've got a bargain, or something to that effect. It was something to that effect. See, after you've been away from it for so long, see, try to write something as in the, but it's like when you're put in a spot, right, and somebody says to you, sing, and you go, I can't, because you've been putting under the spotlight on that minute, on that certain moment, and it's as if you get all nervous. It's like somebody going, you've done such and such, and they pull you up for it. And you go, what have I done? Like that. But because they pulled you up in that minute, you get all tongue-tied, and you get all nervous, and your anxiety level builds up. But see, when you're not under pressure, it's like something will come to you, and it's like as if bang, and you go, I need to go away and write that. I need to go away and write that right now, and you've got it to an absolute T. And it sounds, when you read it back to yourself, it sounds spot bang on, and you go, that'll definitely. But your perception there could be different to somebody else's perception. Somebody could go and read that and go, nah, I wouldn't buy that. But there's other people who go, I'm willing to take a gamble on that. But the thing is, I'm not on eBay to rip anybody off. If I have a customer and he buys something off me and he's not 100% happy, all he needs to do is send me a message. I'll sit there for hours on end with that customer and say, right, what's the problem? I don't want bullshit. I don't want to hear bullshit. Just tell me the way it is, and be honest with me. What is it you don't like about that product, or what are you not happy about with that product? And when they come back to me and say, by the way, I checked this or whatever, that's not what I wanted, or that's not working, or that's not. I thought it was a fully functional item. When I've tested it, it's turned out there's a fault in that. I'm one of these people who turn around and say, well, just send it back. But if you're not happy with it, just send it right back. Just return it back. I'll give you your full money back. I don't fuck about with people. I don't ding me. But the thing is, eBay's changed. What they're doing is eBay's wanting you to send it into a main account, and what happens is that it goes into their system. They hold it in pending. Then it'll tell you when they're going to pay you to that person that's just paid you, but you have to send it out although the money's pending. And then when they release the funds, it goes into your account. I don't know what it's like, as in if, say, for instance, that the customer returns it, where they would actually get into your bank account to take the money back out again. I don't know how that works, as in where the eBay give them it, and then eBay then comes after you for the money that they've gave back to the customer. Because I know that they've got what they call buyer protection, because we've said this for years. On eBay, there's no rule for sellers, as in it's a case of buyer's protection, and buyers will always win over a seller. But you have to have a good enough answer for when eBay or the customer puts a case in an eBay system, because it'll have like a report case or whatever, and then what'll happen is they'll get the buyer's side of what they say, and then what they'll do is they'll go back to seller, and I think it's like you've got to do it within about, I think, 3 days or something like that, you to reply back to them. And then what you do is you send the reply back, and then they come out with a decision. But usually they'll favour the buyer more than the seller. So the seller never wins at the end of the day. But as I said, I'm not on there to rip anybody off or force anybody's arm up their back. That's why I turned around and says to JP then, when you said about as in sending money for shipping, I was like, well, I don't want you feeling that you're forced to do it. I'm not forcing anybody to put money in an account. It's up to them whether they want to donate to it. but the money will get used up properly, as in either for coins for the game or as in shipping for somebody that can't afford it, as in for them for their package to go out. Because the ones to America, they're like 25. They're the ones that are dearer, as in like Australia's dear, Germany's dear, Australia's dear, Greece's dear, Albania's dear, Spain's dear, and the American ones, they're the worst. They're the killer. They are the killers, as in the ones the American packages, especially when you send them tracked. They're like between 15 and 50. They're about between 15 and £15 and upwards. I've seen them being 20 odd. That's what I said. Because even Andrew's like that. Andrew sent, that's right, I know if I remember. Andrew sent 30 quid. I was like, I'm thinking somebody sent quite a bit. And I was like, who was that? Because I know Hank sent twice. David Hank sent once. Shane, which is Irish Collector, I think he sent twice. I think he already sent 3 times. Little donations. And Andrew sent one, because Andrew's like that to me. Go and check your PayPal. And it was like fucking £30. And I'm like, what's that for? And he's like, just take it. He's like, you're always saying me, you're always good to me. I think you're fine. That's how I was like that. If somebody sent me, if somebody sends me even half it, it's a lot less in my pocket. That's why I was like saying about it. But I didn't want to make it that you had to do it, because I didn't want to feel it's as if it was forced to be done. I don't want the guilt. I don't want people feeling that as in like a guilt trip that they've got to. I'd rather them feel that they're willing to do it, as in, but I don't want them to, as in, give me money and then end up fucking leave themselves short. I'd rather somebody eat and then say, oh, but I don't, as in, I need to give you, I don't mind somebody turning and saying that, by the way, I don't mind somebody that's honest and says, by the way, I've money to hang me, I know I've got a couple of pound to give you or whatever, I'll get it next week. I don't mind somebody like that. I'd rather somebody that's honest and open and honest than somebody that's full of bullshit. And I'll get it next time, or I'll get it the following time. And then it's as if you're waiting. It was like that carry on with fucking him for fucking that does the railway stuff, the railway models. And he's like, I need iPhones at. I says, well, there's I think it was like 8 iPhones that need doing up. I was like, all the parts is there. I says, there's probably 3 good ones in that. I says, but you'll need to build them up. Much is a whole lot. I says, I think it was like 45 quid. He was expecting me to send them and him to pay fuck all for them. And it was a case of, I'll give you the money next week. And then when next week came, it was a case of, I've not got the money now, I'll give it later. And it was constant. I says, fucking forget it. I says, you're not getting them. I sent them all back to Hangme. I ended up sent the bits to Chennai, as in back to Chennai. I says, sing me it. I says, sort me out with other stuff. I says, for that stuff I sent you back. I'm like that with dealers. See somebody turns around and says, well, you're not happy with that stuff, and telling me somebody sent me 40 quid worth of stuff back. And first of all, I'd emailed them and says, by the way, why'd you send me that back in the first place? Oh, well, I wasn't happy with that stuff. What do you want me to do with it then? Do whatever you fucking like with it. And if somebody turns and says, well, see that 40 quid of stuff that I sent you back. I don't really want the money back for it, but I'd rather other stuff for it. But I want better quality stuff. It's no problem. No problem. No problem. I used to, in my younger days, I'd I'd go off my rocker, as in I would tend to lash out first and then think later. Now that I've got older, I'm like, I'd rather not lift my hands or my feet or my mouth as in start arguing with cunts. I'd rather sit down peacefully with somebody and say, right, what's the problem? What's your problem? What is your problem? Have you got a problem with me? What is the problem? And sit amicably and have a debate with somebody, as in even if it was over a panel. I don't want a roasting, as in the thing with two people arguing and it sounds like an argument. I don't mind a debate about a topic and it's a case of, well, she's not right, but he's not right either, but he's not wrong either. It's one of the cases. It's a case of, well, my opinion is different to your opinion and my views is different to your views. Fine. Okay. Let's hear them. Let's hear your difference of opinion. Because I want to hear it. Because I want to look at it for two angles. I want to look at it for two angles. As the angle that you're coming from and the angle I'm coming from. And see where I can work it out, where it's right or wrong. Because we all think different. Everybody's logic is different to another one's logic. My logic tends to think outside the box. It's like if you gave me a piece of string and says, I need three lengths of that. I think, well, how do I get 3 lengths of that out? And how long are you talking? Are you talking that long? Or are you talking that long? Because it's like somebody saying, how long is a piece of string? How long or how short you want it to be? Because if you think about it, you get an imaginary pair of scissors. So you've got a ball of string and you throw it out, right? How long or how long is that piece of string? How long or how short you want it to be? But nobody thought about that. People go like that, stumped when you ask them that question. But if you think about if you had a pair of imaginary scissors, you could cut it wherever you like. You could cut it how long or how short you want it to be. It's the same as an answer, a solution, coming to a solution. You got a problem to something and you're trying to rectify it, but you don't know the solution to the problem. Well, think about it logically if you break it down. Break it down into manageable stages and think about it. And you'll eventually get to the answer of what you're looking for. That's how I did it. Because I sat and watched something one day and I was like, this guy had this massive problem, right? So he's telling it to his pal. And his pal says, hold on a minute. Let's think about this. So the guy looks baffled. He looks puzzled, right? And he's sitting there. And he goes, break it into manageable stages, right? So he broke it into about four different parts. He went, look at this part. He's like, well, if that says yeah, and he's like, if that says yes, then you go to this part. And he drew him like this diagram with all these yes no boxes, and he sat with it, as in, and he thought, fucking hell, this works out quite good. But it took him a while to figure it out. And that's how I sat. When I seen it, I watched it. I watched the whole video, the whole way through, and I thought, that's quite a good idea. That I never thought about that at the time. Never thought about that way of breaking it into manageable stages. And that's what I do with phones now. I do it the same with phones. I buy a phone in, or I buy a job lot, and maybe say it's 3 phones. So what I'll usually do is I'll open the box, I'll assess the phones first, I'll look at condition, look at all the corners, make sure the volume switch is there, the power button's there, make sure the screws haven't been tampered. If it's got screws at the bottom of it or wherever the screws is, check, make sure the screws has not been tampered with. If the back comes off it, take the removable back off it. Check, make sure that it's got a battery inside it. If it hasn't got a battery, I'll find a battery for it, or try and get a battery that'll fit it. Then what I'll do is I'll go and make sure that I've got a battery that'll power up, and then I start diagnosing it, as in if power test it to see if it'll even power up. Because I've had phones that I've put a charger into it, took the charger back out it. When you put a charger in a phone, it'll power up and it'll light up. It'll start charging the battery. But when you take it back out, what'll happen is it'll not discharge the battery. The power you're putting into the power board will shut down. But that battery should hold a charge. And when you press the power button, it should go on. I had a Motorola I bought in, right? But a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, silver one, brought it in, beautiful condition. Thought probably a battery. Battery looked as if it swelled, or in the phone, near it. Opened the back of the phone, and the battery blew up, or it swelled. I use the one that I use Hi-Ho as a Nokia G60. Nokia G60 I'm using. It's by HMD, but I do like my Nokia Lumias. I don't know how many I've fixed a Nokia Lumias, because the best way that they built them really well, as in the Lumias, but a lot of people don't like them because the Windows operating system on them, because they had up until they had Windows 7 on them, or they done Windows 8.1, done Windows 8.1 update, and then they done, I think, a Windows. Didn't they do a Windows 9? I think they done a Windows 10. But you can actually upgrade them from Windows 8 to Windows 10. But if you upgrade them to the Windows 10, you can't downgrade it back to Windows 8.1. They done a 435, 625, 1152, I think 1152, 1172, and 1172. They done fucking beautiful models. Bill, I've already seen the new one. They've rang me, they sent me an email saying about it, and I had a look at it, and I'm like, I went down the other week there. I was down, I think, either last week or the week before, and I was down in to see if my contract was ended for that one, because I was in to see because I've got my insurance on it, and but they're top. Bill, watch about go on to Twitter and have a look at HMD. They're talking about, as in the Nokia's saying about the last releases of their phone, but I don't know if they're pulling out or not, as in because their contract is to end, as in with actual HMD. So it looks like they were part of the company, so they must have been sponsoring them for so many years, or for the last couple of years, HMD. But I don't know if HMD are pulling out and going on their own, and because they're talking about Nokia saying that they're doing their last releases. So I don't know if that means then that if they're doing their last releases, whether that means then it's the finish of Nokia, or whether that means then that they're going to do a new range and they're gone on their own, back on their own again. Because HMD, it's nearly the end of the contract. They put it on a big, it was a big Twitter about it. They were they talk about it on Twitter. Was I put up a press? It was a press release or something. I put up, and I was like, oh fuck. I was like, does that mean that it's the end of Nokia then? Because I've always been a fan of Nokia. I've never had a problem with Nokia. Because they've always, when they had the software right, it always worked. But their software did nothing to do with Windows at one time. It had nothing to do with Android either. It wasn't until after they done the Symbian stuff, because they done their whole range, and then they changed on to a Symbian phone, and then went for Symbian to something like, because there's what you call what's that? What was that thing made that was on Phones Archive just recently? One of the boys was doing a 7600, and it was coming up RPU. So it must have been the file of it, or the program inside it must have been RPU, and then it changed over when it went on to the Symbian range, and then it ended up become SL3 codes, where it was like a hash file, and we used to get sent away. And then they changed over because the company, it wasn't to cease. What they were trying to do was they were trying to get into the music side of it with the Nokia phones, and they needed excess money. And Windows, they were looking for an investor for about a year and a half. And they found an investor, and Bill Gates went to them and says that we'll take the company over for, I think 3 years or something, 3.5 years or something like that. So they gave them money, and that's when the company in Finland, they shut the factory in Finland, or the offices in Finland, because that was their main offices in Finland. They shut them down, and that's when they done the changeover, as in with their Nokia, because the Nokia name disappeared for I think 2 years or something like that. It disappeared. Nobody knew where they'd went to. And the Finland people were all wanting them to come back. They shut the factory down. They closed all the doors. They sold all the gear. They sold all the production side of it. They sold all the tools, all the equipment they had. They sold it all, because a lot of it's been coming up recently. And people have been showing different bits of equipment, and everybody's like, what the hell's that for? And what's this for? And RPMs and stuff like that, and cards and fucking all sorts. And I'll tell you where to look. If you go on Vintage Phones on Facebook, join the group on there, and you'll see everything that's talked about on the old Nokia up until the Android range. The Vintage Phones Archive is not for the new releases. It's for the older stuff before it changed over to the Lumias. That's why that's why I stay in that group, because they come up with some amount of, I've seen some amount of stuff lately, and I'm like, what the hell's that? And I'm like, looking at the picture, what the hell's that for? What is that for? It's some of the old equipment for Nokia back in the days. Some of it gets sold, and it went all over the country, and it's there's bits and pieces of equipment between Turkey, Russia, Czechoslovakia. There's stuff in Czechoslovakia. There's even stuff as in USA, because that was like that adapter. I found it in me as in four of them, and yes, well, Acid Flasher found a link for it as in eBay. You're right, Bill. It's all Android now. Dig me the Nokia range because they were showing that new thing. Me, it's called a something. I think it's called a phase or something, or Foes or something. It's called, but it really looks nice. But my phone shop or my network I'm with, they don't stock. They don't keep them in stock. They actually order them. They actually order them in because they're not actually asked for them. They're asking more for the Oppo. But how would you say the Oppo, the Xemio. There's another one. Can't I fucking mind what one that is. I can't remember what it's called again. There's another one. The Chinese one. Can't remember fucking what is that? Oppo. There's Oppo and there's another one. And then there's Xemia, which starts with an X. And then you get iPhone and the Samsung. They stock and the ZT and some of the ZT stuff. They do not stock Nokias as in thing. They don't even have it out and on display because the last one I had to ask to get it ordered in, and it'll be here on Tuesday, and it was here on Saturday. So I don't know if they've got another stock room or a storeroom somewhere where they store it, and then end up down where they actually order it, and they go and get it. I don't know. It could be a store in could be a storeroom in Glasgow, or maybe up in Bathgate or somewhere. But definitely a stock room somewhere they've got. As the last ones, as in DPD, as in sent when they sent it out, it come like on the Saturday. It was supposed to be due on the Tuesday, something like Tuesday. They said it would be due on Tuesday. It came on the Saturday afternoon. It was here, as in because I've got a G50. As you try to say the G50 had a fault in the volume, as in the volume, the speaker. See, it was on the speaker. There was a fault on it. I says, "Oh, it's a fucking 2 year old. It's a 2 year old phone. How the hell can it have a?" I says to him, I says, "No." I says, "I'm telling you right now." I says, "The old man told me there's a black spot in this bedroom. There's a black spot in this box bedroom, or or what he called it the cupboard room. There's a black spot in here, and Mama told me about it. And what happens is it gets no signal, but I could hear them on the phone, them speaking to me, but they couldn't hear me, as when I spoke to them on that phone, on the phone. I says, you're telling me that every time I've had a phone I've used that it's faulty?" I says, "So that means then that you gave me a faulty unit?" And they just looked at me as if to say, no, it wasn't a faulty unit. I says, "Well, if it's not a faulty unit, how come you're telling me 2 years later that that's faulty?" Because it's only got 2 years manufacture. It's only got 2 years manufacture warranty. Because it used to be only 1 year, now it's 2. I think it's 2 years or 2.5 years as in manufacturer's warranty that you can send it back to the manufacturer. But as long as you've not touched it, or a technician has touched it, because I sent a phone away once, and I know I didn't touch it. I didn't open it up. They opened it up and they said that the void warranty or the void sticker inside it had been tampered with. I said, "Well, I didn't touch it." So that meant then it was a refurbished unit some time ago. I was trying to think of something there. Something I was going to say. Aye, about that Motorola. So it was a Motorola Razor, and I only bought it in because I had two of them lying, and two of them had a fault. I says I'll buy one in, and I only want it to charge the battery up. So I decided this one had said pre-owned or used or whatever, but it said it was untested. So I took it, and when I opened up the battery cover, it was ink. I was fun enough with the ink, and the battery smelled. So I was like, well, obviously the battery's been in there, and it's not had any heat or anything. When the air's got to it, it's obviously expanded. So I took the battery out of the one that I had, put it in, tried to charge it up. We're charging it up. It's charging up fine. I took it off the charger. The thing when they power up. I thought that's fucking weird. I've never seen this before. But I didn't take it apart. I thought it's got to be a fault. It's in it. It must be an IC or a resistor that's went in it. But if you could plug a charger into it and charge it up, and it will charge up the battery. But after you took the charger out of it, even though the battery was charged in it, it wouldn't turn on the power button. So I'm like, well, that's going as a three pair, as a three pair. That'll go as a three lot, as in because it'll be good to somebody if wants to do them or two up, because there's one with a crack. One of them's got on the outside screen, it's got a crack, but it's only on the glass. It's not on the LCD. So it needs the glass. It needs the front casing taken off. But I'm not touching it. There's 4 screws on it. I'm not opening it. I'd rather thing we sell it that way and fucking let someone else deal with it. I just wanting some of the spares bucket done, because that's why I was buying off a China, was to try and get the parts bucket done, as in the actual to downsize the parts bucket. That was the whole idea behind it. But as I was buying it off him, it was offering me more of it, so I was just taking it constantly. And now if I can get that much of it, it's unreal. But it's all half decent stuff. I need to put some of it on eBay to try and shift some of it, so I can get space. Because I've not got enough space to so I can do bits and pieces. Because that's what it says to Scotty. Showed Scotty the picture, as in the room. I says to him, I said, I want my table back. I've taken the phones have taken over the table, and then they've got the display cabinet on the other side of the table. I want the display cabinet out the road. I'll probably put that underneath the bunk bed, as in so I can get my table. My plastic table back. A proper plastic table. I paid £25 for that table, as in that it was up at the. They didn't want to sell it at first. I says to him, I says, why is that table down there in the first place? I says, are you going to sell it, or does that mean that you are going to keep it? He goes, well, would you buy it off us? I says, it depends how much you want for it. He says, we gave £20 for it. So of course I will. Because they're like 25. The plastic ones, the ones that's proper, the proper ones that fold up, the legs fold up and that, they're about 30 quid or something like that, 35 quid to buy, brand new. And you've got to order them up. They put them under as a pacing table, but it's not really a pacing table. It's a plastic table. It's got a plastic tap on it, but it actually opens up like a suitcase. Actually, when you can fold it away, and the metal legs actually fold inside it. You take the legs out. It's extendable legs on them. I want that table back because I want to be able to work up there. And I want to put my double arcade my double arcade unit up with my laptop monitor, as in that I can put into my arcade joystick, my two arcade joystick, and I also want space for to basically put that to set the other laptop for the older boxes for the unlocking for the phones as well. Make a space on the other side of it. So I want the table back. Because the fucking table's overcrowded with stuff on top it now. Because I was repairing stuff and all sorts, and then sorting ones out. Because when you get it off another dealer, it's not a case of just buy it in and then, oh, I take their word for it. Never ever take the word for it off another dealer, as they'll tell you anything. Oh, that works. That's perfect. Oh, you don't have to worry. As in, but when your name's on it and you're selling it, it'll come back and bite you in the arse, especially if anything's not right with it. So when you put your name on it, you've got to make sure that it powers up, do all the tests and all the rest before you sell it, before you even list it on eBay. Because it's down to you. You sold it to the customer, not the other dealer that you took it off of. The other dealer takes no responsibility when you bought it off another dealer. Basically sold the scene. It's your merchandise. You buy it the way you see it. It's one of the cases where it's bought in good faith and sold in good faith. It's like having a motor. You sell it to a customer. You sold it in good faith. The motor's fine. The motor was working when the time of sale because there's laws, and that's why I watch Chop's Garage. It tells you all the ins and outs about the motor and the ins and outs about the motor trade. But it doesn't just apply that law that he's talking about. It's not just for motors, it's actually for items, as in it's got to be fit for purpose. A 30 day fucking 30-day clause or something like that it is. There's a window when you sold something. But I love the customers that you can work with, the ones that are easy going, the ones they're so placid, it's unreal. As in they deal with you, as in they give you the money, not a problem. Money's exchanged hands, not a problem. And then as soon as you get a problem with the ones that are the placid customers, they come to you, email you or message you and say, by the way, got a problem. They don't start shouting, ranting and raving. I hate the ones that you get ranting and raving. I just turn around and throw in my deaf ear at first. But I usually, I'm like, right, if you finish your rant and rave, or you finish your rant on this email, what's the problem? Let's sit down, sort it out, tell me exactly what the problem is and where you found the problem, till I figure out what went wrong. What actually went wrong. Because I love dealing with a customer that's so easygoing, because you always get a resolution out of that. Because the ones that you can't make happy, I'm like that here. Send the item back, and as soon as I get your item, fucking there your money. Now fuck off. Don't come back. It's fine. I don't need your custom, because you'll never please them. The ones that's one of the ones that's an unhappy customer, because their ideals for something or an item is fucking like high standards like that, and you can't get them off of that perch. and it doesn't matter what you do to try and please them, they'll still not be pleased. I had a dealer like that once before, a dealer, and he bought like 3 items, and he's like, "Can I get combined?" And I was like, "Look, I take £2 off it, and I think I'll send you the three of them. Send you the three." So I sent him the three phones, and it wasn't a matter of like within a week. It was like 4 days later, I'm back. Oh, I think I paid too much for them. Blah blah blah. Look, do me a favour. I went, just sending me the items back as soon as I get them back. As long as they're in the condition that I sent them in, I give you your money back. I says, but I don't want you coming back. I don't want you coming back again. I says, I don't need your custom. I never even said that. I was like, I'm one of these people. I'm like, I hope he doesn't come. Hope he fucking never comes back again. Because I was like, I don't need your custom. I'd one that like Tanisha used to keep in contact with me for London, and I bought these is it 263Os? I think it was 260Os, black. I always remember them, black with a rim of silver, fucking beautiful. And I got him off I can't mind his fucking name. Him with the army jacket. I always remember him with the army jacket on. He was off of fishing, the same as we Alec Watts. I used to buy phones off him. And he used to do the fishing contracts or something like that. And the fishing contracts, what they do is, they don't send the phones back that they've been using. They get rid of them. And I don't know if he buys them off him or whatever. And fucking I had 10 of them. I'd actually 10 of them. And I put a listing on. And Tanisha went, I give you a tenner for I want one of them. I goes, no, I says, there's a deal going at the moment. I says, it's, I think, a pair of them. And was that much for the pair then? I Tammy. And the guy goes like, how much do you want from him? I goes, well, what are you prepared to offer? And he's like, I think like fucking, I was like 15 quid. I goes, well, see if you're 15 quid. I goes, you'll get 2 of them. So I sent him the first two. Sent him first two down. I goes, they're beautiful. He goes, what are they on? He goes, I need to know what network or whatever. So I tell him what network I'm on. I says, look, I don't think they're unlocked. I says, because they've come off a big contract. I says, I got them off a guy. I says, but he goes, Tanisha's like, I don't need to tell me the long story. Well, I just want to hang me. I need one. He says, and hang me, it's for a family member or whatever. And I sent him first 2 down. Then a fucking week, and he's like, oh, thanks for the thing, thanks for them. They're in the beautifulest condition. I goes, I says, I tell you that. I says, the pictures don't give them justice. I says, when they've been pictured. I said, because I'm not really the best at photographing. I said, but I've tried to do the best I can with them. He says, honestly, he says, fucking beautiful. These were like in mint condition, right? He goes, he's like that to me. When he messages me, he says, thanks for the thing, man. I got him the day over the moon. I'm over the moon with him. He says, because the condition in him, beautiful. He says, but if you go, he says to me, you go any better than them. I fucking sell a lot of them. But like me, a tenner a pair, a fucking tenner a pair. He's like, I'll give you the postage. It was like £4 because it's about three. I think it's like in second class recorded. Back then it was like £3 odd. I think it was like 3.40, 3.45. It's went up now. I usually put it about 4.60 or something like that, about 4.60 or 4.69 for thingy for record because I do have it recorded with eBay and I missed it. I'm alright. No, it's fine. Aye, and then when I sell them the last two, I says to him, look, I says the last two is not in the nicest condition. I says the last two of them. I says because the rest of them were in beautiful condition. I says pristine condition. I says really mint condition. I says but these two are a wee bit in the rough side. I says a wee bit in the rough side. I says because I don't think these two have been looked really after. I says I think they've been one of the ones I says where they've been passed about. I says and been scuffed and battered. I says scuffed and battered. I says but they do work. I says the two of them does work. I says but I says they're not in the nicest condition as the last two ones. And then about 2 weeks later, another guy, I mean, he emailed me. I says, look, I says, the 2630s. I says they're all gone. I says every one of them. I says they're actually hang me. I says they've actually went down to London. As I says to him, I don't really. I says Tanisha. I says I don't really care what you're doing with them. I says but if you take them off me. I says, they're good enough to resell on. I says, and he says, no, he says, I'm not buying them to resell them. Because that's what I thought when he done after he done the first two, I was like, he's bought him to resell them. She's not, he had a big family in London. It was like one of them where like the Asians are, where you have a house and it's like a 5 apartment or whatever, or it's 5 bedrooms in it, and it was like his uncle, his auntie, his daughter, his son, and then their fiance and their son-in-law, but it was all like relatives, and that's what he was doing. He had a shop somewhere or a restaurant, and that's what he was doing. He was passing them as family members, but he'd come on eBay for a search for the half decent. Well, he was looking for a couple of half decent ones, but he wanted somebody that he could trust. I still have his messages that he used to send me because he was asking me how I was and all that, Karen, and we went into personal issues and stuff like that, and he's like, I'm sorry to hear that, blah blah blah, and it was like this is back in like 2017, and when I was back looking on my Dell, I found most of the old payment slips or the payment invoices for all the different customers that had been dealing with us. But back then I was selling them for I think like £4, listing them for like £4 or something like that. Because I was getting them like £2 a pop off a thing, mate, off a alley. But there's another guy who goes up there and buys off alley, and he actually he puts them in the container and they send them up to fucking Nigeria or somewhere, or one of these foreign countries. And I was like, Telly, fucking, he's wanting fucking gold dust for nothing basically. But Ali just wants fucking Ali Egyptian just wants rid of stuff. That's the last time I was up there, and that's when I found a couple of phones that was laying on the ground. And that Samsung, it turned out it was alright. I knew straight away when I looked at it, but it's too clean. Sometimes I'll do that with like phones. I'm going to eBay, look at a job lot, I'll look at the pictures, and then I'll look at them and I'll eye it up, and then I go, and and then I go, there's a couple of there's a couple of half decent ones, and there's a couple of not kind of rough ones. I'll sort of have to take, because you have to take a job lot. Sometimes you'll ask, can I take that one out, or I can take this out, and sometimes they'll be like, no, I'm not splitting it. It's a job lot. It goes as a complete unit. Sometimes you'll pay like 40 quid for the full complete unit, but usually 10 times out of 10, I'll maybe get a couple of good ones out a job lot, but usually I'll have a look at a picture. Usually I'll turn around, that's too clean. That's what I usually do. I'll usually look at the condition and I'm like, too clean. It's too clean, that. Too clean to not be working. Sometimes you can get the odd one that you put a battery in it and it just won't power up. It's as if it's dead. It's as if it's dead to the world. And then you're like that. And you check it for, because on some of them, on some of the phones, there's like a sticker on them, and it's, when it's not been water damaged, the sticker is usually white, but I think it's got a dye in it or something, and when it has water, when it's got water spilled on it, it'll either turn pink or it'll turn red, it'll turn bright red, bright red, the little sticker. That's how you usually tell. But sometimes water can do a lot of damage, as in a PCB board, but sometimes you can put them in the ultrasonic cleaner and put gentle cleaning solution, and it'll take it's like crystallization. It takes the crystallization off the board. It'll last for maybe a couple of months, maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks. It can last maybe a couple of months, as in a board that's been water damaged, but usually it's not worth really selling a water damaged board. Usually it's better just taking the fucking parts out it and use it for parts. That's the best thing as a donor. But if you get it in time, as in water, and you put it into the rice, because the rice does work. Rice does work. Dry rice, as in put it in dry rice, but you got to take a lot of the water out of it. There's no point if you drop it down the toilet, don't put it in rice and think it'll save it. Get as much water as you possibly can, drain it, as in let it drain out the phone, and then hold it at an angle and let it drain. Let most of the water out of it, and then the excess water, then put it into the dry rice and leave it overnight. It'll fucking dry it out. Don't ever power it up, because you blow the board to fuck, as in especially by putting power in it. The phone will only take maybe 5 volts, if that, 5 volts at top of the tree. Not take any more. Put up to about 7 volt in them, but 7 volts is a bit too much. Usually between about 5 volt, because usually a battery is about 3.7 volt. It's when we're doing the repairing, it's about 2.5. You can put about 2.5 volts in it, in a board, as in you telling me to get the pulse, because it's when you're doing it with the repairing equipment, when you've got it on, you're like resuscing it. It's basically a pulse. It does. It's like a pulse. It goes through it when it's doing it, because you see with the programmer box, the lights start. It's like a dance. Lights dancing, but it actually pulses like that. It's like a pulse. Basically, put it onto the data line. There's a VC. There's what I call a VCC line. I've fucking studied this for months, the last couple of years, as in thing with phones, because that's all I've ever done is phones. But before I done phones, I actually done valeting. The guy who I used to work for, my ex-boss, as in he was a a used car dealer, and we used to buy stuff off used to get stuff off parts of Rover High School Bride, as in the stuff that they didn't want. And the guy who used to do the cleaning from, they had a big massive float, and Smitty went and got a job with oh fuck, what was that company? Oh fucking, they started a recovery company and that. No, he's himself, but it was oh fuck, what was the name of that company? Direct Line. Direct Line started their own body shop and that, and Smitty went to work for them, and him and his brother ended up they bought a taxi and started doing hackneys at the weekend and all that car on with taxis. As in Smitty. But Smitty fucking left them in the lurch. I ended up becoming a valeter. And that's all I've ever done is clean motors. But I actually missed the motor trade because at least I was out and about all the time. As in you get your days in and your days out as well, as in thing. Sometimes you're in the garage, sometimes you're fucking on site, as in cleaning motors at maybe an auction, as in where the stuff for the dealer, as in or for the person you work for, and then end up sometimes you maybe fucking go a drive, as in maybe through to Edinburgh or whatever, as in maybe to look at a motor and bring a motor back, or take a driver. You just sit fucking his driver's mate. I used to like that, a day out. And it's a case of, well, your day out for fucking working in the garage and stuck in the garage all the time. So you see the sights. I enjoyed working with motors. Because you get it's a pleasure you get out of it, or when you do a motor and you clean it and you know it's cleaned and you think that's a beautiful looking motor, and you're thinking, I hope somebody gets that and appreciates that motor, as in looks after it, especially when it's been a looked after one, as in, because sometimes you get a fucking the worst looking thing or the bogging looking thing you've ever saw, and it's fucking the clattiest motor that's ever existed. And sometimes it is the dirt that keeps the paintwork good underneath it, and you clean it and it fucking turns out a really nice motor, and you're like really as in proud of yourself because you've done a full day shift, because you've rang me as in without fucking polishing it by hand. Because my old man used to do all the buffing with the compound buff. As near that's what he loved. He loved doing it a compound buff. I never knew that it was a detailer's job, as in a compound buff. I never touched a compound buff in my life. It wasn't until I worked in Eastfield I started fucking about with a compound buff, because I watched my old man doing it for donkeys, and he's like, he says, he says, always keep it as in flat, the buff itself. He says, but if you're going near an edge or a swedge, he says, just be very careful as in when you're polishing it, because you can burnish through an edge, as in especially when you're on an edge, as in depending how much paint is actually on it. He says, but you need to be very careful. He says, when you get to an edge, he says, you should do it by hand, your edges by hand, do your big portions or your big panels with the buff itself, the compound buff. I think I'll go, guys, and see you later. And thanks, Tammy. Been a long time since I've seen Tammy, and see you later, guys. Bye. What's that green tick all about? No, you're fine, Andrew. See you later, bud. In stream. Wonder